Do, 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 do. Hey everybody! I am not about to get run over by a truck. I swear. I gotta turn those down. We're live and stuff on the boom. So Keith just wandered away. The always irascible Joe Wiggins just joined us. Barry, how deep are you into your alternative medicine this evening?
I haven't done that in a while. 3 or 4 months. I don't do it always, just when I'm in a lot of pain.
Gotcha. And well, you said you were in like pain every day.
I got different levels of pain. Yeah, I am in pain every day. But
what kind of mud are you drinking today?
It's tea.
It is? All right. And how deep are you in your cups tonight, Jim? 0. So we might get some non-F words out of you then.
Doubt it.
Did everybody watch Groundhog's Day for on February 2nd?
No. One day I might drive up there to see that. It's not
the Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah. I don't think it's that far. I gotta look.
Hey, congratulations to your team, and also congratulations on burning down your hometown or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't look too deep into that, but I kind of feared what they would do. I saw them flipping a car.
Well, like there was videos I saw of like department stores with like their like windows or whatever, like the store windows, with the display windows or whatever out in the street. And they have videos of people like smashing them and just taking stuff and going in the store and grabbing, and people yelling, "Everything's free! It's Super Bowl!" Woo!
Yeah, fucking idiots. Tomorrow's the parade, so we'll see what happens then.
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird. I mean, I'm not here to talk too much about Super Bowl, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, it was weird, like not having. I had no dog in the fight, so it was just kind of like watching it. It was.
I watched it. It was actually a pretty good game, but.
Well, there was no defense at all. It was kind of.
No, it was all offense.
Except for the Brady sack fumble at the end.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the defense
when it mattered.
Yeah, defense when it mattered. Well, I mean, if you had made that play the entire game, it would have mattered. But yeah, I don't know. It was fine, I guess. I mean, cool. Yeah, they showed that 99-year-old fan, like Billy Phil or Philly Bill or something like that. Like he was at the Super Bowl, so I was kind of happy for that guy. Be a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles your entire life, and they, before you, like they're at the twilight of your existence, you get to celebrate, something. So I thought I was like, not that there isn't a 99-year-old Patriot fan out there.
Yeah, but that guy's already got 5.
Yeah. Well, he did win one before there was actually a Super Bowl. I think it was 63, 65.
Yeah, but nobody really counts those, I mean, nobody cares about those. They're kind of because like the Vikings have the 1960, I think they have the NFL champion. They were the NFL champion, which that was when there was the NFL and the AFL.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, nobody really counts those. They're just kind of meh. Yeah, because I remember maybe it was 19. I don't know what year it was. They but I remember like the 40-year anniversary of it. They had like this big push called 40 for 60 was what they called it, and it was like, yeah, that's what it was. It was 1960 because it was called 40 for 60 because it called back to 1960 when they won that championship, and then it was the idea of 40 because 40-man roster. 40 for 60 minutes, like, playing as hard as you can for 60 minutes kind of thing. Of course, there's that weird stat about NFL where, like, from the time the ball is hiked to the time that the play is over, like, it's something like 11 minutes for an entire game. And it's like, and the rest of that time is just, nothing, some weird stat like that. Anyway, anything weird going on with anybody? No, nothing. Wow, I'm just. Come on, Joe. You haven't been here for a while. What's new with you?
What's new with me? Oh man, I am so busy. I am so busy. But other than that, it's great. It's a good busy. It's really enjoyable. But you probably, I don't know if it's the same for you though, Lance. For us, Chinese New Year is such a massive like just thing to like go into, like so much stuff that needs to be done. And I don't know, I know publishers have like they have to go through Chinese New Year too, but I don't know if it's as busy as a time.
Well, our big thing is that it's just like you have to plan for it, you know, as far as especially with the Kickstarter, you know.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that basically everything shuts down for 3 weeks. Is that fair?
Basically, it's safer just to say February's just dead. Just don't plan to do any work in February.
But whatever. It's I don't know. Like we got the Kickstarter going on right now. Actually, I mean, if we can jump right into grievances, I'd like to talk about a grievance if I could.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
All right. So Gentis Kickstarter is going really well, and we're really happy with it. I get an email from somebody saying, "Hey, why are you guys on Indiegogo?" And I was like, "We're not on Indiegogo." And so then they provide me this link, and there's like the entire Gentis Kickstarter, pretty much copy and pasted word for word, with some slight changes. Just basically with the videos and stuff, what the person probably had access to, like posted on Indiegogo, asking for funding, and so I was like, what the hell? And so like I was like, Michael's can do some crazy stuff every once in a while, but he's never going to do anything this crazy, And I before I started, firing off emails and stuff. Okay, better call the boss. So I called him up, and of course, he, as I suspected, no, he had no idea what was going on, and so I was like, all right, well, and so because it actually listed him by name as the creator, so he contacted. I was like, I think somebody broke into your account or something, And so he was like, no, because they had that one Indiegogo campaign and they had canceled it. And he's like, that isn't on there. And I was like, yeah, I noticed that too. And so we reported it over 24 hours ago, and it's still up on Indiegogo. And it's just like, what kind of, they haven't responded to emails, phone calls, tweets, anything. And it's just kind of like, what kind of shitty service do you run that thankfully nobody's pledged on it. I mean, we've told all of our backers, it's like, that is not us. That is completely and totally fabricated. But it's just like, what, it's like, fine. I understand Kickstarter is kind of like the gold standard and whatever. And it is like the, it's what when people think crowdfunding, they think that. And I'd even hesitate to say that, when people think crowdfunding, the secondary thing they think of is Patreon before they even consider Indiegogo. Maybe not. I don't know. But I mean, if you want to carve out a niche or something for yourself, man, you're kind of doing yourself. I mean, it's just I don't know. I just respond to a customer service thing, respond to anything. I mean, if I send an email to Kickstarter about, hey, we're trying to fix this, I get a response in within a half an hour. Usually it's minutes. And it's just what a clown company. I realize maybe there's something weird going on or whatever, and I'm kind of annoyed by it, which is normally I wouldn't say these kind of things, but it's just kind of where's the frickin' due diligence on that at all? I mean, it's just kind of I don't know. because they had to approve it before it went up, right? And the guy that, like, the Indiegogo guy, him and Michael know each other. They've had like face-to-face meetings and discussions about things, and it's just kind of like, not that that guy approves things, but I don't know. Just what a freaking clown company.
They may be just looking into it before they get back to you.
Well, I don't know. It's fucking dumb. That's what it is.
So I mean, it's a ripoff on there, and it's like it's a flexible funding so that it would just pay the person as soon as they back,
as soon as somebody backed it, they'd get the money. They would have that money in their pocket.
And it's funny because, like, you look at the thing, the Mendez thing, it says it's got it's email verified 4,011 Facebook friends, and Mendez has 1,908 Facebook friends. So, it's not obviously him.
It's just, and like I said, it's like
of his information.
Yeah, I mean, it was like,
when somebody contacts you, say, I own this company and this is not me, and somebody's trying to defraud people, how the hell do you leave this up at all? That floors me. It seems like you should at least suspend it until you find out. So you're right. Indiegogo, a joke.
What would be the recourse on? Is there like any legal action that could be taken, or? Well,
Michael referenced there is the WDCA, which is like basically like there's copyright law for things like this that, like, that you can enact, and it's if you report, because of the fact that people can put anything they want up on, like, the interwebs, like they can just go, oh, I'm going to post this and this is mine, okay, so yeah, you can throw that up there or whatever, but it's one of those things where it's like, if somebody says that isn't me, or that's not theirs, that's mine, you have 24 hours to take it down. And as of right now, we're still waiting, and it's past 24 hours. And it's just dumb. I can't reference enough.
Is it a U.S. company?
I don't. Well, Indiegogo, I have no idea where they're based out of.
Because they don't have to follow U.S. copyrights if they're not a U.S. company.
Well, screw them. Screw them right in the ear.
Its headquarters is in San Francisco, California.
And this is a grievance, but this is not complaining to, like, anybody in particular or about anything, because I understand things can happen and what have you. But apparently my copy of Batman from Monolith is completely lost. Like, I was supposed to have it like a month ago, and they don't know where it is. They're seeing if they could somehow get me a copy issued. I might just bother Barry and tell him to send me his, because he did some video work on it, and I might just force him to send me his so I can do a video on it. But
did that actually go on Kickstarter?
No, it goes live in 20 days. So, like, okay. I got some time if they can get me one. And,
you're waiting for a review copy. I thought you were waiting for a Kickstarter copy. My bad.
No. Like, I'm waiting for the prototype to be sent so I can monkey with it. But we'll have to see what happens or whatever. Hopefully, I'm able to do that stuff. And just one, I want to play the game, and two, I would really like to just have I can put 20 30 hours of video work into something, and so then I to guarantee that I have a all-in full copy of it. So, because I am a Batman nerd. I have Batman and Mr. Freeze and Scarecrow tattooed on my body. So there's that then. Anybody else have a grievance?
Yes, I have a grievance. Something stupid, but I really love film and I love the Oscars. And every year I feel like there are some pretty big snubs, like always, but I'm really pissed because a couple years ago, Lego Movie, which was easily the best animated movie in the last 10 years, easily, was not nominated for best animated film. And then this year, Lego Batman, which was easily just as good, was not nominated for best animated film, yet somehow Boss Baby was. And I don't know why the Oscars feel like the Lego movies don't deserve to be counted or something like that for
I think it's like because I read something where they said that they think of it as a giant commercial, because it's just like, oh, here's, you can go buy some Lego toys,
It's really frustrating because the original Lego Movie was so good.
Oh,
so
it was ridiculous with I mean, spoiler alert, with the big reveal,
Yeah.
And I mean, which completely cracked the movie, right? I mean, it was and I won't say anything 'cause spoilers. I won't just because there might be a few people out there that haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen the first Lego Movie, watch it. For the big moment, and it's just perfect. And I remember singing "Everything Is Awesome" for like 2 weeks after seeing that. Just everything.
We
is
just broke out
awesome.
of that song a couple weeks ago.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. And then everything.
I'm just I'm mad that that they didn't give it consideration when they gave just such garbage, such terrible.
Lego Batman was really good though. I mean,
yeah,
it was.
And way better than Coco. Like way better. So good. But I'm mad at that. I'm just mad at why they won't.
The usage of the usage of "one is the loneliest number" in that was like the perfect one is the it was so good.
The scene where he is heating up the lobster in the microwave and just twiddling his little Lego thumbs, that might have been that's top 5 scenes in film for the entire year. Easily. That scene alone is just so beautiful and so nuanced, and the way that I have nothing but great things to say about that movie, and it so frustrates me. But that's my grievance. Stupid, but I'm upset.
Well, wasn't the whole thing of what was it they expanded, they said that for best picture of the year they didn't put a limit on it anymore, they could have because they've nominated up to 10 movies for best movie of the year or something like that.
They upped it from 5 to 10, but it also pisses me off because if they have 10 slots, why don't they fill 10 slots?
Well, I think it's because I think it was up to 10 kind of thing. Maybe there's not,
you need a threshold of votes or nominations to get in.
I've actually I don't, how do I put this? I know, and this is not that big of a deal because they're all over the place. I know somebody that is not only one of the people that determines ratings for movies, and those people are their identity is so stupidly super secret. It's not even funny. And also people that are get to vote for the Academy. And I've talked to them about it, and it's if you've ever heard tell of any of the stories about the Baseball Hall of Fame, how the people, the sports writers that vote for the Baseball Hall of Fame, and how weird they are about their own personal reasons for thinking this, that, and the other thing. It's kind of the same thing, It's just it's really, really odd. Some of the stories I've heard. But anyway, I probably said too much about that. But
They got to like campaign to get in, like pay to get in, or to nominate.
For which? The Academy?
Yeah.
I think it's like, a double secret Illuminati probation kind of thing, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, I honestly I've never asked how they got it. I mean, it was they were an established. The person I know was like a very, very well established person in like the film world, and it was like a like kind of a progression kind of thing.
It's getting to vote, like nominate movies, isn't incredibly difficult. Basically, like if you're in the Actors Guild or any of the guilds that are out there for that, all it takes after that is just like being a part of the Academy, which is like joining like another like even higher tiered union. So it's like being in the union of the union, basically. So
the weird thing about that stuff, and this is just my whatever feeling, is that it's like anything else. It's like anything else where there's like a weird click, right? It's like any big time award, like the Academy saying, "Oh, this is like this is the best movie of the year" or whatever. Okay, it doesn't mean anything though, right? I mean, other than the fact that now more people are going to watch it, more people are going to buy it, and the people that are involved with it are going to make more money. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, the number, like you win the number one game on Board Game Geek is a game you don't like. That doesn't mean anything to you. Like when they decide that the best movie of the year is whatever, and I'm like, no, you're incorrect. It's this.
Size winning every award last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
you guys ready for Gloomhaven to win every award this year?
Yeah. So
although I think it'll be pretty compartmentalized.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. It's just that those are those things that like I think, it just doesn't matter, right? It ultimately it matters for the bottom line. I mean, like for the people that won. I mean, tell me who won Spiel in 1989.
I'm sure whoever won it probably.
If you don't say the game, I would tell you it won.
Yeah, I mean,
the
but it's just like
irrelevant.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like people don't.
People
don't like. People don't know where. But bottom line, it like they make more money off of it. I mean, every time
La La Land won last year because they called that name out. Moonlight didn't get its proper award.
So here's the thing. Like I've heard more than a few publishers say, "I really wish my game had gotten the Spiel because that means I sell 50,000 more copies."
Cafe International, by the way, is the answer. Yeah, of course. Awards mean money in this situation.
And none of them are like, "Oh, I really wish I won that award because it."
I watched Darkest Hour last night because it was nominated, and probably wouldn't have watched it otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, nobody says that. I mean, the publishers I have, they just like, who gives a shit about the award? It's the bottom line, Okay, I won Spiel. Hit the print run button.
Check would disagree with you. He wants the Golden Geek Award really bad because that means it's a People's Choice Award to him. It means a lot.
Well, okay, what I'm telling you is I didn't say Golden Geeks. I mean, I'm talking about a real award.
I'm just talking about real. The Undead Viking Game of the Year awards.
No, but I mean, like, okay, so if you win like some sort of Nevada Comic-Con movie of the year, it's like, oh yeah, hey, you won.
There's different
movie
levels
of the
of
year.
awards.
You'd be like, oh.
Awards.
So.
I think board game awards are a little different. I guess
I missed
how many really are.
What started this discussion of the Oscars? Is Oscars?
Joel Wiggins was he was complaining about the fact that Lego Batman didn't get nominated for Best Animated Movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Because your hair's all slicked back in the little picture, Scott, it looked like you had shaved your head. I was like, good Lord, you lost a bet.
I was thinking more Eddie Munster.
Like, you lost a bet, so you had to shave your head. Is your
dad
these headphones? Go home.
These headphones suck. I mean, they're good for like gaming and stuff, but talking on the air, it's kind of
Hey, is your dad still there, or did he go home?
I finally left.
Oh,
Finally. Can't even read.
I don't know what the phrase is. Like, what is it? Visitors at home are like fish. After a few days, they start to stink, right? I don't know, something like that.
3 days.
I really
3
enjoyed
days.
talking to your dad last week.
Sure. Yeah, that's great.
I hear you, Aldi. I have one here for 5 months so far. Come on, spring.
Oh, we had a good time. Had a lot of good conversation, a lot of good dinner.
What's the rule? 4 days?
3 days. He left after 3 days.
Oh, I've heard it's like if you go anywhere 4 days, and that includes the day you get there, which is like so there's like 2 days in the middle where you're there, but then you leave the morning of the 4th day.
Fish and visitors stink after 3 days. Thank you, Benjamin Franklin.
I doubt Benjamin Franklin said that.
So I have an anti-grievance.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to hear any
I
positivity.
want positivity. I like positivity.
So a friend of mine who I've worked with for years retired, and he's always had a fascination and interest in games. And he's going to get involved in designing and starting his own game company. And he's going to be working with Joe Wiggins.
Cool.
That's too bad.
John Anderson.
John Anderson. I know a John Anderson.
So do millions of people.
I worked with him at 3D Realms.
Huh?
I know millions of John Andersons. Wasn't there a John Anderson that ran for president?
Oh, well, I'm really glad I didn't just say something because I thought you were talking about somebody completely different. And I was like, oh, that was announced. Okay. And then, okay. Working with me particularly or just working with Panda?
No, I think you particularly. I sent the info to Ben, and Ben put you in contact with him with the initial, hey, greetings, here's a Panda packet kind of deal.
Oh, the automated email that he never looks at.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. The animated Wiggin email.
With 9 days left, Gentis is at 348 grand. So
Which one?
Hentis?
Gentis, whatever. We're very
Gentis.
happy. We're very pleased with how well it's doing. So
The one at Indiegogo is half that.
yeah. Aldi, just so you know, the Indiegogo Gentis is somebody who completely is trying to rip us off, and we reported it to Indiegogo over 24 hours ago, and they haven't taken it down yet. Like somebody copied and pasted our entire Kickstarter page and put it on Indiegogo, and is trying to get people to give them money.
What?
Yeah,
Like a counterfeiting type thing, or like just
like literally like they're trying to pretend that they're Michael Mendez, and they
so is that the new line of fraud now? Like just copy a Kickstarter and hope people give you money, and then you disappear with all the cash.
Yeah, 'cause it's on flexible fund. It doesn't even have to fund.
Yeah, flexible fund. You just get day one. You get $1. You'll get taken home.
Yep.
That's an interesting new crime that I hadn't thought about. Man, I'm not devious.
So there's that then.
On a side note,
I
I've
could
got
just
a new website that I'm funding on Indiegogo called Board Game Geek. And
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Maybe
Start
a
that
dice.
up. Yeah, you got the API. You can rip that off.
Just
go fire that shit up.
you got to say something like, we've been providing content for years, but we need to help keep the lights on. Just
That's
see if
right.
you can squeeze a few more dollars out of the onion, and see what you can do. Because by God, I mean, Aldi's wasting away in front of us.
I know.
Aldi, you got any
Talk about
grievances?
something important?
You got a grievance or anything?
I have a grievance. Yeah, I hate pledge managers that lock down and then you can't ever get to them. Like I totally forgot to do my Mythic Battles pledge manager, and now I'm in limbo because I didn't do it. What do I do? There's nobody. I wrote to the company. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean they should probably.
I
take
put
care
the
of you.
order in on Kickstarter. Why do I have to re-enter it all again?
Did you start the email by "Do you know who I am"?
I signed it with my
because that'll
name.
get it.
I name dropped a little. I signed my name, who I am. Believe me, I don't like going through all the rigmarole. I went through the rigmarole with another.
Well, you do know they send you several emails asking you to.
But he backs
finalize.
20,000 projects.
Would you like to take over my Kickstarter inbox, Lance? I get about 100 emails a day. I don't know which one. I mean, I'm supposed to look out for all the pledge managers.
Well,
you
you
send me the
could.
pledge manager separate. They're using
Wait, whoa.
Pledge managers are
Somebody tell me how
Steven says
much.
this.
So somebody tell me how much money Scott is worth right now. Somebody worth of web me the.
Last I saw it was like 92 or 95.
All right, so you're a $90 million man, right? You're telling
But he has
me
to
you
sell
don't-
it for that.
You're telling me you don't have an underling that you could just say, look, and then you couldn't just say like make a Kickstarter at boardgamegeek.com and make that your email address and just have them send all the updates there and this is your job. Respond to these, fill out my forms. If you want to know how much money I want to spend all of it because I have $90 million and I don't need to worry about the money.
That is not true. Believe me, I've thought about a personal assistant or an assistant in some way like that, but I just don't know. I don't really work well. I think I guess I would just have to try it and see what happens.
Oh, in the past 2 weeks, you've gone up 500 grand, Scott. Time to sell. 92 million even.
What does your wife
Killing
do?
me.
What does your wife do for a living? I mean, I don't care.
She's the director of the Dallas Volunteer Attorney Program.
Well, geez.
Keyword in there, volunteer.
Yeah,
it's a 501c3. It's a charity.
Well,
She works for the Dallas Bar.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You're worth $90 million. Can't you have that little lady just sitting at home?
She wants to work. What are you talking about?
People,
she's saying that to be nice.
I have been to many of the clinics that she runs or oversees, and those people need legal assistance for free. It's rough, man.
Wait,
you're picking up the most.
She's got the best job. What's that?
She's probably the most generous person we know.
Yeah, she puts up with your crap.
She puts up with Scott on top of it.
She does. She lets me
Don't
run
give
the
her
stupid
crap.
shit. Lets me do all this stupid shit.
And she's nice.
She is. You outkicked your coverage there, just so you remember.
He knows.
So back to my grievance.
What grievance? I got hijacked.
I hate backer kits. I do too. No, not necessarily backer kits. I hate post.
I want to do it in
Kickstarter
Kickstarter.
pledge
I want fire
managers.
and forget.
I think they're all great systems. They're great, but I already spent all the time doing the Kickstarter fucking survey.
Well, talk about like whoever came up with it. What genius did that? It was just like, I want to figure out a way that I can take a little bit of money off the top.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's so dumb. Why doesn't Kickstarter do something like that?
Because then they'd be like a store. Those things are basically like stores. They're shopping carts, right?
Yeah.
But Kickstarter deep down knows they're nothing but a damn store by now. They can claim they're not, but they know they are.
Yeah.
10%. What do they care?
As soon as they admit they're a store, then a whole bunch of liability opens up. They're not a store. They're a project funding website with risks involved.
They're
Anyway,
they're
I've
a
got like
pre-order
a-
where you might not get your shit. That's what they
So
are.
I started going through my Kickstarter emails just kind of like to see what else I missed, and I've missed so many. So I'm trying to like consolidate it all. Normally,
Have you ever
9 times out
had-
of 10 I do them right, but then you guys get busy in the fall. You go to Gen Con, you go to Essen. When those emails come in, I'm like, oh, I'll deal with them and get home, and then I forget.
Oh, that's
you ever
some
had the-
Kickstarter just sends you like an email a week or every other day or something.
I get
and that's
100
the
emails
problem.
a day
Yeah.
at least.
You need
and
to set
I-
up a rule.
Well, then there needs to be a specific email that tells me to do the pledge manager or the backer kit or the CrowdOx or whatever.
Just
And usually they do send it, except these guys didn't do that. They're using some other Fluent something or whatever. I can't remember the name of it.
so they found a different one. To even
have
confuse
another-
it worse.
Backer kit
Scott,
manager.
So, Scott, random question. Most of these Kickstarter games eventually make their way to the Board Game Geek library, right? Eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
So why wouldn't, like, if it is that much of a hassle, isn't there a guy that kind of like his job is to like be in charge of that? Would that be something that like,
Her job, yeah.
yeah,
It's
her
a
job?
woman.
Would that be?
Yeah, I have someone managing the BGG library. Woman.
Would that be like
Um,
something that could fall under their umbrella?
It could, and I may tap into that. You're being too logical, Joe.
I do it a lot. So
Well, hey, I don't run a BGG anything, and I hate the damn thing.
I don't very often have a grievance, so I had to figure out come up with something that bugged me today. No, I mean, I love. So here's another thing: I love seeing all the games. Right, like they pass through my house, which is probably a mistake because my house is just a wasteland of boxes and.
You just like getting packages.
I actually don't. I'm done. I'm over it. after running the Amazon, or after running the Hurricane Harvey charity, we sat there for, I want to say like 4 or 5 hours opening boxes because every game came in its own box, right? And it was several hundred of them.
Did you give a nice tip to your UPS guy?
It's never the same person. It's always different. I never recognize. The only person who hates me and he gives me the evil eye, stink eye, is the postman, postal worker. He is not a friendly man. He has got the evil eye. Like, do you like your job? Like, what do you do? You know. He and I, I've got him on video just tossing shit on the porch.
Newman.
I mean, that's fine. You can only bend over so many times a day.
Tell that to your wife. No. So what I find really interesting is that like sometimes like I'll have like a Kickstarter that I'll forgot that I backed, and not like forgot I backed and it shows up, but I'll be like going through my Kickstarter and it's like, oh, whatever happened to that, right? And you'll pull it up, and you'll see that like you haven't been paying attention to it, but like there's the fervent 15-20 people that have been and are just ripping this person a new one because it's like late and there's all these problems, and you're like, and so you get to kind of catch up on all the drama that has been going on for like the last 6 months, and you definitely you see people that like who are running Kickstarters who like don't know how to handle like negative responses, just like they'll come back, they'll try to discuss things with people for a little while, and and then people are like, and people that have like really valid, like there was an RPG that I backed, and like the guy like vanished for 5 months, and like people are constantly like, why aren't you responding to us? What's going on? Just like, and finally the guy like comes out of his little hole. And he just basically says, just like whatever. And he says, oh, I've just been really busy and I haven't been able to write much and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, and plus it's just all my artist hasn't got me the illustrations and things like that. And they're just like, and so then of course they give too much information, right? I mean, it's like, so then it's like, so you open this weird door, and then all of a sudden people are like, well, what kind of freaking project manager are you hired this illustrator, fine, you haven't been writing, fine, whatever, you've got personal problems, but you hired an illustrator to do illustrations for you a year ago. Why aren't they done? It's just like it's just like why aren't you on their ass to get their shit done? And it's just like, and then you realize the guy probably lied. He's like, oh, I don't even have an illustrator. Just like, And you're just kind of waiting, and I'm sitting there. It's like, what did I gave this guy $25 or whatever, and you just realize that your money's
bitch forever, basically.
Yeah. But I realize that my $25 is gone.
I wish there was a way on Kickstarter where a person could just hit the reset button and refund everybody. I mean, I know that's not how it works, but
you can refund easy.
I know, but you got to do it manually.
Yeah, you do have to do it very, very manually.
Like, I feel like a lot of these guys would like to do that, but they just can't.
Well, they don't have 15 grand lying around.
Isn't there a Russian bot for that by now?
Hey, did you get your big your giant lazy Susan table yet, Lance?
No. I mean, the fact that he's still making them and he's still trying to do it.
I have hope.
Yeah, I mean, I had written my $300 off a long time ago, and now I feel like I have a really good chance that I'll get one in the next 3 to 4 years.
So he finally opened and said something now. Then?
Oh no, he
has all the stuff.
He has he literally he finally came out of the woodwork. Basically, people, I think somebody tried to take him to small claims court, because somebody local.
Yeah,
I think tracked him down, and basically threatened litigation. And so then he came out of, and so like the hand of icy death came and slapped him in the face, and he posted a huge update. Weren't you here? We went over it that night.
It was probably a night I wasn't here. Or
he posted this giant update. He actually, like, I forget what the thing that he was using, but like he cut off like a good half of one of his fingers.
Planer.
Yeah, he showed his hand there's
a nice close up of it.
He's missing a digit from working.
It's like a quarter of his finger.
Yeah, and he showed he showed like local people have been able to pick. He's delivered some to local people, and so
where's he at?
Working. He's in Canada.
Here's the thing: if I knew our tables that we ordered existed, I would repay for the shipping.
Well, that's what everybody said. Everybody's told him repeatedly.
Like, bill me.
Like, yeah, bill me. You know, if it's done, if it's going to cost me $100 to have them sent to me, I'll give you the $100. Yeah, no problem. And just because at this point I'd rather have it.
Shit happens.
But that's the biggest thing. So this is something actually I thought about now that we're discussing it. Is it like there's all these things where it's like people say that like no news. Like even popping in with an update and saying, "Hey, we got nothing new to report right now. That's all we got." Is that better?
Yeah.
Than silence?
Yes.
Yes.
Your mind runs rampant with silence. So you basically want to be,
or at least just say we don't have any news, but hey, we're still working on it. We know we've got your money. You are going to get something, and that's all you've got to say. At least they don't think you took it and ran.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but I do know that when you give out any information, like any kind of like any small tidbit of like a morsel, it's like people just latch onto that morsel and they just, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just one of those things where it's like they, it can have a negative effect. I don't know. It's weird. Here's another thing. As a person who's running a Kickstarter for like the last whatever it is 20 some odd days, and this one, in all honesty, in comparison, like when I was the Downfall one, not that we're going to make a great game and we're excited about it and everything like that, but it definitely was one that was very trying on me personally. It definitely this one has been just a joy. Like the people have been really, really positive. And the thing is that, and I think we learned some things from Downfall and we've definitely improved, in my opinion, how we handled the situation and what we're doing here. And it's been exciting. It is really, really tough for me to answer the same questions over and over again, especially for people that aren't even backing the game. Cause you see, when they post their comment, you actually can see if they're a backer, you can click on it and you can see how they're backing you. Even if it's like $1, even if they're in for $1, right? Okay, here's my $1. I'm in. Tell me about this. And it's just like, I know it shouldn't matter. And I know it shouldn't, I know I should be but you come in there and and the thing is people pay $1. Because normally you can only backers can post comments. They'll pay $1, they'll make their comment, and then they'll cancel their pledge.
So get rid of the $1 pledge.
Well, no, you can always, because now it's just there's
pledge $1.
You can always pledge $1. Yeah. You can just say I don't want to have my money and I'm out.
Yeah, stupid. You can't block them or nothing.
No. And it's just people that are and it's so tough when the questions are in the fact that the answers are in the facts and the answers are, have literally 2 comments before them. Somebody has asked the question that's been asked and answered, but this one admittedly has been going extremely well.
Matthew just told me about a program he uses. It's called a hotkey thing. I can't remember the name of it. He said it changed his life now. He's
Matthew Octavian, you mean?
Octavian, yeah. He he works in Zendesk quite a lot, where a lot of comments come in.
Okay.
and questions, and if they're like repeatable answers, you just done. Hotkey.
Oh, I already have. I have
Canned responses. So it's basically, I mean, I know your brain turns on for a second because you got to be like, well, what's the answer? And I got to figure out what I want. But I mean, yeah.
I've got something that I use for that. So it's but no, it's just I don't know. It's like you said, nobody reads anything.
Here's what we actually. Oh man, you know what? I don't even want to bring this up.
Go ahead. No, you said it.
So I just got an email into the contact system. Oh my god, I can't say it. I can't repeat it.
Be vague.
No.
No, I want to know.
I just want to tell you what we deal with all the time. Let me see if you know what? Well, here's the thing. I can't say it.
Why?
I can't say it. Well, here, I'm gonna send you a screenshot of it, and you figure out a way to tell people what it is without actually saying the words.
All right, I'll do this.
At least you get a question about the game.
What?
I'm sending you a screenshot. Just give me a second.
I'm waiting.
I'm putting it to you in. Well, I'll put it in the chat. You guys can see what we deal with all day long.
There you go.
Put it in your screen. We'll just share screen.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Knock yourselves out. We get the most horrific, nasty stuff that
All right.
It's awful. How can you say that? Can you say any word of that?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
all right. I got this. I have this.
Yeah.
So this is somebody commenting. They've chosen as the username of every. This is all caps and everything. I should mention all of this is in all caps.
It's all.
And this is every G dang name, and then that's
you could
F,
say that, right?
F, all of you. F, derogatory term discussing homosexuality.
Bundle of sticks.
Bundle of sticks.
Fascists.
N-word for a fascist, and then pieces of excrement. And that is the entirety of the comment.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just read it? Jesus Christ.
At least that didn't have a death threat. At least that didn't have a death threat.
Yeah. Pussies. Anyway,
Hey,
that's what BGG is becoming. I see that more and more.
What the industry is becoming.
Yeah.
Because all the people are getting sucked into it from all the different communities. I would say communities in quotes, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Where that language and that terminology. Have you guys ever played PUBG?
Yep.
Love PUBG. Have your mic on at the beginning when you're running around with all the other 100 people, and I've just heard the most foul things ever. Foul, racist, misogynistic language. It's basically like kids, right?
It's like that in most online games.
What's up? What's wrong with the kids? I blame the teachers. I blame the teachers.
I remember.
I blame the parents.
That too.
No, I remember being a kid when
for not whooping people's asses.
Hey,
that's what I blame.
Hey, I just remembered something, Lance. I have a grievance.
All right.
Is it still time for grievances?
Well, that's fine, but this is going to be a bit for some reason, I think. But anyway, go ahead.
No, it's not a bit. So, has anyone seen those Bodum double-walled glasses, the mugs and stuff?
No. What are they?
Yes.
You've seen them. They're double-walled. They're nice in the sense that you can pour really scalding hot coffee in it.
Oh yeah. My
cool
wife
to the touch.
See, and you could see the glass in between the liquid.
Yeah. So I got a couple mugs for Christmas, and one of them has some kind of crack in it because there's vapor inside. And so I emailed Bodum and I said, hey, I got these mugs for Christmas. I really like them. One of them's got a problem. What do I do to send it back to get a replacement? You can't do that. Bodum does not warranty glass. So I wrote back very kindly and said, that seems strange to me because your entire product is glass. So please tell me what to do. So they stonewall. So I said, look, you've got an opportunity here to either make me a very happy customer who will speak good things about your product, or really piss me off, and what little social media I have will be filled with commentary about this and photos, and I'll let people know. Didn't hear a word. 2 days. Then I get an email from them. How was your experience with Bodum customer service? Will you please rate us? And it lists the email
Can you
below,
go
right?
-1?
So I wrote, no, you have either good or bad. So I said bad, and I wrote blah 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 blah. Right? So then nothing. So I sent another email that I said, look, I haven't heard from you. This is the situation. You can see the email string below. If I don't hear from you within 48 hours, I'll assume that you really don't care. So 48 hours goes. I say, fine, screw you. Send out a couple of texts and chats and stuff. Today I get an email on that same string that says, how was your customer service with Bodum? So I wrote,
Isn't automation awesome?
So I wrote bad, and in the comment box I wrote, oh my God, did you even read the email below this? So anyway, that's my grievance. Freaking Bodum.
BOD. They never responded to you in any way?
Red logo with the white lettering. Yeah.
Their response was basically, we have great products. We don't guarantee glass. I said,
Jim, I can take care of that Bodum for you for about a quarter.
Yeah, I can take care of it with a good, strong throwing arm.
We don't guarantee any products that are made of glass. All of our products are made of glass, so we don't guarantee anything.
Right.
Hey, that's a great way to get out of any replacements.
Exactly.
I bet a vacuum sealed glass would blow up real good. It sounds like fun.
Probably.
Well, it's not vacuum sealed anymore, apparently.
It'll still blow up good when I put something going 2,000 feet per second through it.
Oh, I had a grievance. Don't put one scene on the end of a movie and say it ties into 2 other movies. A shitty movie at that. I watched that Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Split, and I was like, that's the best tie-in ever.
Oh, wait, don't spoil it. So there's, I already did. But what is, Split is good, but don't spoil it. But also, so the Cloverfield Paradox is not really Cloverfield. It's just in the universal Cloverfield.
Supposedly.
Okay. Well, did you see 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah, they kind of did that with that, I was going to say. But that made a little more sense.
I liked both of those movies very much, and I watched Paradox the other day, and I did not enjoy it at all. Like it just didn't do anything for me. If it was not Cloverfield, maybe I would have liked it better, but it did not live up to anything that the other 2 movies had going for them. Yeah, very disappointed.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting though that you announced the movie or you advertised the movie at the Super Bowl and it's ready to watch that night. That's so cool. I love that. So,
which they're already releasing it, so it doesn't matter. But I had this cool idea that I thought it was cool anyway. Maybe it's not, but how media is being consumed, I thought it would have been cool if Marvel ever got the rights back to X-Men, and they did they just kind of rebooted the X-Men movies and did an X-Men movie, and at the same time, the same day that the X-Men movie released, did a New Mutants Netflix series that also released simultaneously, where the 2 stories kind of intertwined, like not fully, but like there was some stuff to pick up from both of them. I would have really, I think that would be like that would be a cool kind of future way of going about doing media.
Marvel already did that with Captain America 2 and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but not so much. They just referenced it.
And it's annoying because if you don't go see the movie at the right time, then you can't watch your damn TV show.
I like those bowls, Keith. Got them all, the rainbow of them. It's awesome.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still room for a lot of creativity with movies and Netflix type things and serial, 12 episode things or whatever, and it just hasn't been done yet.
I'm just wondering how that, they did that Glow, which was like a featured length movie.
The Glow, yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be the wave of the future for movies or not. And how do they make money off of that,
Glow was like 10 episodes, wasn't it?
It was like 10 or 12
No, it was a
episodes.
movie. It was like an hour and a half, 2-hour movie.
No,
it was like Smith.
Are you talking about the?
Are you talking about Glorious Ladies of Wrestling,
Right.
or what are you talking about?
He's talking about Bright.
Bright. I'm sorry.
Bright, yeah.
because Glow was also a Netflix thing, but
Bright
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Bright was a very formulaic buddy cop movie set in World of Warcraft. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all it was.
Yeah, but
Right.
But it wasn't bad.
Squandered it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
It wasn't terrible. I mean, if they could do so much more
Somebody-
with that universe.
Yeah.
Somebody said something that it was very reminiscent of Alienation. I haven't seen it.
It is.
that true?
Yes,
it was
it
like
is.
if you took Alien Nation and mixed it
Training
with Training Day. Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect comparison.
I think Bright would have been better as like a 10-episode series than the movie.
Yeah, but there's no way you're going to get Will Smith to do 10
episodes or whatever.
10
Yeah.
12 episodes.
Don't get Will Smith. Get the guy from Get Out.
But
No.
you say that, but the thing is that the fact that Will Smith was in it, it gave it legitimacy, and that was a movie that I could see people going to it in the movie theater to see it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's definitely
it was
at that level.
Yeah, I mean, it was so by doing that, it was a statement by Netflix. It was like, hey, look, you don't have to go to the movie theater to see a movie theater movie.
Right.
We're gonna make them.
And Amazon same way.
Yeah, they also did Mudbound this year. Netflix did, which was another equally as good as anything that came out in the theaters. Like
Which one?
Mudbound.
Yeah.
I was okay.
It was Mudbound.
I mean, it might
We
not be
talked
your
about this
style,
before.
but it was beautifully done. Like the way it was acted, the performances, the film, it was very well done. Very well done.
I think the model that they're going to find value in is the hipster model, right? So you got the baby boomers who are fading out. You got the hipsters who'll be the next big market once they figure out how to make money. And then they're going to be the ones about, oh yeah, I saw this video. You wouldn't recognize any of the actors. Blah blah blah.
So, real quick, does everyone know what this is? Can we talk about this for a second?
Well, what?
Amazing.
Yeah, now that I copied your number
That's
down.
only
sure.
if you like. Did you was it actually the whole number? You didn't cover it up with your finger.
It doesn't do anything. It's not
You're on YouTube.
there's no money on
it's-
it to steal.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a credit card.
It's your identity.
Technically, it is.
Is
But,
that where you like pay $10 a month or whatever, and you see
Pay
unlimited
$10
movies?
a month and you can see
Yeah.
unlimited movies at any theater. I don't know how it works, but it's ridiculous.
Can I pay $10
So,
a month
John,
to get the
my
movies at my
problem is-
house?
I don't care about the money.
I don't want to go
I
to
don't
the
have the
theater.
time.
I don't really want to
Exactly. I want to make my own. I want to make my own theater.
Yeah.
I watched Darkest Hour last night, starting at 3 a.m. and it ended at 5. That's how crazy I am.
Well, and then so for me, it's like when like for movies, it's I don't have time. I mean, I don't have time to go. It isn't, and you know what? I mean, in all honesty, and Joe, maybe it won't be like that for you. I have no idea, but I mean, when when your child gets older and when you have more children, theoretically, you'll find it's just. You just don't. You end up like it's like it's 5 o'clock and I'm done working and now dinner, gotta get dinner ready, and then you gotta do there's all these other things that you have to do, and it's like you have to actually like plan. It's like I mean, I remember I'd be bored. I'll go to a movie, but now it's like, okay, when's that movie? All right, so a week from today at this time I'm going to be at this place, and I'm going to go, and it's just so, yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
Theoretically, and I don't get to go that much, but like one time that I can go is Saturday mornings. My wife likes to sleep in. And so there's a theater really close to me that starts showing movies at like 7 a.m. And so I can go catch like a 7 a.m. movie, like 10 minutes down the road from me, and be in there, be back before my wife is even like really ready for the day. And so like I'm back home by like 10 o'clock and saw a movie. So that's
I was wondering how you saw.
Wait a minute, though.
Joe,
Hey, when I was talking to your wife though, she said you did that like 9 months before your kid was born.
To the day.
Yeah. So Joe, here's the thing: is I think that Movie Pass is a great idea, but other than movies being an event now rather than just something to do on the fly, there are not that many movies I really want to see.
Yeah, I'm in the
No.
same boat.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, but it also depends because I'm a huge film buff. Like I love, like I probably used it probably 15 times in January because all the Oscar movies were coming out, and so like all of the Oscar nominees were coming out, and I went and caught all of those. So
Yeah, but even those Oscar movies, I was having trouble finding ones that I was really excited about.
Yeah, this year's kind of weak.
I thought Three Billboards was great. Phantom Thread was also really good. Call Me by Your Name was amazing. I think it's the only movie in a long time that made me cry. So I thought that was really good. The Post.
Grow up here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, pair of what?
Testicles, balls.
But how would Lance know about that? I'm just curious.
So, are any of you guys doing the Gen Con thing on Monday?
What's
What's
the
that?
Gen?
Isn't that the housing thing starting on Monday?
Well, we haven't gotten emailed our number yet. You know,
Wait, but it opens on Monday, right?
Saturday,
Regular
they-
attendees.
Is it Saturday that we get our number emailed to us and we find out if we get a
we
shit
know what the
spot?
grievance is going to be come Wednesday next week.
So of all the people that would know, you would know, in my opinion, Keith. So when do we get emailed our number?
Saturday.
So we'll get our number on Saturday, and then
That's when you get your time, and when you look at that, you can instantly go, "Well, I'm host."
yeah, and then what's the day that we actually get to go for our rooms?
Let's see. Saturday is housing portal access time arrives in email. Sunday is when you go after your housing on the next day on the 11th. So it's you have to buy your badge before Friday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, at some point, your housing portal access time arrives. You'll either get an access time or you'll get a giant middle finger from Gen Con.
Yeah.
And
So
then
what?
Sunday?
What's the earliest that they open up? Is my big thing.
Let's see. Sunday, February 11th. Once the countdown timer reaches 0, you may access the housing portal. It doesn't say. Historically, it has been noon when that happens.
So it's on Sunday. It goes live.
Sunday it goes live. It always goes
Yeah,
live on
yeah.
Sundays.
If you're watching this, don't wait till Monday.
Well, yeah. If you don't go
Here's the
when
thing:
your
it's not, the
time
exhibitor
is,
stuff's not open yet.
I mean,
if you don't go when your time is, you're screwed.
you are honestly better off. Like, I mean, I think we are actually like looking at like TMG. We're looking at like getting our rooms, like paying out the nose for them. I mean, just and then canceling them if need be. You know, because there's still some places that you can get a room nearby, but you're going to end up paying, $300 a night. Yeah, but
you're gonna be paying $300 if you get the room through the block. I mean,
I mean, like we got a room through, I don't know, some like one of those one of those like kayak places or whatever. We got a room prior that was next to the convention area, not like a good one, like it was still like just like a block away, and then I think it was $310 a night or whatever, and but it was
their high rate.
Michael, Seth, Jeremiah, and one of our volunteers stayed there, and it was like, but it was like fine, it was like they had a spot.
Get me in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Oh, JoJo, it was good to
Good
see
night,
you,
Joe.
All right,
Wait,
Hey, JoJo, actually, I have one quick question.
go.
What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Does Panda do like digital transfer of pictures to Wood yet, or no?
Yeah. So we're talking about like this would be more considered like a heat transfer print, but yeah, we can do that. So like full color, like complete images on wood. Yeah. We just did a project with that with another company just a little while ago.
Yeah, because I know we requested samples, and I was just making sure through our guy, because that's like the last stickers that we have for Gentis or Gentis or whatever you want to call it, it's not that at all. But anyway, that's like basically they're the action tiles, and there's no way we can do like silk screening on that because it would there's too much information. It's got to be a high resolution picture. So, and that's like the one thing our backers are like, what about everything in the game is silk screened except for these 11 tiles. These 11, they're like we've reduced like 200 stickers down to 11 or whatever.
Why don't you just tell them to piss off?
Because I want them to be happy, and I want to make people happy.
They won't be happy. These people are finding ways to make themselves unhappy.
I actually know that Brent's working on that right now, so I'm sure that whatever you guys are planning for Heenties, we will be able to take care of.
It's good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming in.
All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Ta-ta, darling.
How's it going, Cheech?
Not too bad.
You got any grievances? We've been kind of grievancing it out like for a while. So if you got something.
Let me think about it. I'm pretty good.
So on Gen Con, the warning for housing this year, as a reminder for people, is that you cannot transfer hotel rooms like in the past. If you book a room and can't go, you either have to find a backdoor channel to get somebody to use your room, or they are going to charge you the cancellation. You have to cancel it. You cannot transfer it to a friend. Which is I mean,
I feel like they almost did that just so people don't go in there and don't speculate. Yeah.
What's the cancellation fee? Like 50, 100?
One night stay, I think.
I'll look it up real quick.
250.
I don't know what it is. I'm going to look it up.
So that's another
fairly pricey. I think it's more than $50, but I'm going to find out.
It's typically one night.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I got a story. I'll be right back, guys. Though.
Oh, okay. I got a story. I'll see you later.
Nope, it's only $50 for cancellation fee. So there you go.
Wow.
But after June 11th, it's one night's room charge.
Did you say 50 or 15?
50 until June 11th. Oh. After June 11th, it was a full night.
Hey, Forest Dog, do you? We got you a badge.
I saw that. Yes.
Do you have your entourage again this year?
Yeah. We're still gonna run a 3-man crew.
All right. Then I need you to send Daniel, and if I can give you his email if you need it, but I'm sure you still have it. Just send Daniel the email addresses of your crew so we can hook them up.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that because now after what Keith said, they have to be signed up by Friday if we want to have a chance to get the lottery for the hotel.
By Friday.
I don't know if you'll get one. If they'll get one with a.
They won't get one with a vendor badge. I don't.
You need to use your press badge, and they need to sign up for press badges.
Yeah, we've been running. Actually, there's my grievance. I got one. I'll send the email, but can I do my grievance?
Yeah, go for it.
Gen Con finally got their head out of their ass and started checking press badges. I was sponsored in 2014 by this short-lived board game website called Board Game Tavern, and my buddy Eric has been getting a press pass off Board Game Tavern the last 3 years, despite the fact it went debunk after about 3.5 weeks. And they finally did the due diligence and actually checked the website and said, this hasn't been updated since October of 2014, so we're going to reject your badge. So, yeah, they're finally actually doing that now. So it's good for them, but a grievance for me.
Womp, womp.
I got mine, though, so that works.
Yeah.
I'll shoot Daniel that email.
Yeah, just shoot him an email, and then he'll take care of you.
Why not just find the people who run Board Game Tavern and just say make just a bogus update?
Well, but in all honesty, it costs. I mean, you can throw it. I mean, it takes nothing to put together a reasonable looking website. It'll take you like.
It costs $15 in an hour of time.
Well, I mean, if you want to actually make it look kind of nice and post something, you can. But
that's an hour.
Yeah.
You can use Squarespace, $15 for a month. Throw it up on a template that they've got. You just need a few pictures and some text. An hour, and you've got a decent looking website.
Well, all they'd have to do is post a bunch of Forrest videos and just in this new little.
No, you said a decent looking website.
Topless Forrest topless videos will always get your attention.
Did you say topless?
I can see the forest because of all the trees.
Yeah, topless.
I can do my topless video.
Have you only done one topless video?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to do another one this summer. Actually, underwater. I'm going to do the first ever board game review underwater, completely subtitled. That's the goal.
Sweet.
Dude, you should do a video where you're eating little mini foods and call it a tapas video.
Well, that just went over my head. I know
topless. Go to tapas.
Tapas.
Yeah, tapas.
Oh, it has to be shirtless. Okay, I got it.
Tapas.
Hey, when do BGG badges go on sale?
Never.
Oh, next week.
Really? Already?
No, the premium.
The premium?
We're going to be sending out information to the premium badge holders either this week or next week.
Oh, wow. Already.
And you will be able to renew.
Oh my gosh,
you'll have first chance to buy one. I think the price is pretty reasonable too. We're not doing the auction.
Yeah, you have to DM me what the price is so I know if I'm doing it again.
Yeah. It's pretty close to what you paid, I think. Maybe a little less. Yeah, so those will go on sale, and then we'll have probably the real tickets in March. The open tickets or whatever, I think. I cannot remember the dates anymore at all because my brain is just too full of shit. I have to
one day I'm going to actually make it to BGG Con.
I say that every year.
Wait till next year, Jim. I mean, you can.
No, I have to wait. No, I have to wait till my kids are out of high school.
It's cheaper than that, Keith.
The problem with BGG Con is it tends to fall during the middle of marching band season. And
middle of what? Oh, marching band. Well, you can come to spring. Season. Come to spring.
When is the springtime?
Memorial Day weekend.
That's usually show choir season.
Do you sing in show choir?
Active kids.
There's just no pleasing them.
Oh, your kids are still in school and stuff.
Yeah. I have one kid still in high school.
You know what? Do not come to BGG Con instead of dealing with your kids. That's
absolutely not.
Priorities. In fact, priorities are in the right.
I just turned down a trip to Dubai because of that.
No, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you know what? I have to.
I mean, Dubai is like one of those once in a lifetime kind of go places.
Yeah, I know, but it was just to teach a course, so I would have been in doing work and then leaving.
Oh, you wouldn't have any time for fun.
No.
Yeah, if I could teleport there, I would go. Yeah.
You finished Charterstone yet?
No.
What game are you on?
11.
Oh, okay.
11 and 12. We need to do 11 and 12.
I got 3 done.
You got what?
I've got 3 done.
He just finished his 3rd.
I love it.
It's good. It's a good game.
Fun. It's so.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
So snappy.
I didn't mean to be
what's your player
negative.
count you're doing?
For me, 4.
4? Yeah, I got a 2-player and a 6-player going right now.
Ooh, 6-player.
It actually is not. It's not that bad. I mean, it turns in about 70 to 80 minutes, which I mean.
What are your scores in those games? Like, what's your
lowest has been 21, highest has been 64.
Okay, that's about the same as us. I was just wondering with so many players if the scores would be lower globally.
It's a completely different beast from 2 to 6 players, though. It's gonna be interesting talking about it.
Yeah. Maybe like in a few more months, I guess we could start spoilering it. Maybe spoiler recap.
I was blown away by the fact that in the 6-player game, we unlocked more stuff, just like all sorts of stuff. Not talking about anything. In 3 games, I mean, my wife unlocked in 10 games, and it was just blew me away.
I prefer the 2. Like I prefer not to see everything up front because I feel like we're not. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, LD, I got a question on your website.
Which one? The Board Game Geek?
BGG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before you had the makeover.
Yeah.
I used to be able to click on subscribers and see all the subscribers to my page. Can I see them at all anymore or not?
I don't think you ever could see them. You maybe
Yeah, I used to be able to see them. I'm pretty sure.
Could you see fans, maybe?
I could see fans. I could still see fans, but not on the mobile version.
I don't think we ever publicized subscribers.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
Those are still secret.
I sit corrected.
Maybe you miscombobulated it with the fans or something.
Yeah. So you guys want to see the cover of my new game coming out?
We just hired a new designer. We burned out our old designer. Taking so long that he had to take another job. Well, he didn't have to. He took another job because it was a dream job.
You guys want to see the cover of my new game?
Yes.
I'm going to do a screen share.
Yep.
See if I can do this.
Close all the windows you don't want us to see. Hey, everybody.
I'm just gonna open the one that I want you to see.
I don't understand why you can. You used to not be able to see this part of my room, and now you can. What happened?
Yeah,
I'm wondering what that Jetson thing is.
I know everybody wants. So this is my snack pack of Tide Pods. They're Electrosol. I prefer the orange flavor of the Electrosol pods, so that there's the.
That's an awesome can. That's
seriously, it's so awesome.
That's just the general thing. You get the wow.
The tingling means it's working.
I told this story last time, but I found this in my mother-in-law's garage, and I'm like, "Oh, is that like a vintage thing?" Like, and then I picked it. I'm like, "Oh no, it's got jet dry and all kinds of modern, things." And she's like, "No, it was just a special box that it came in." I'm like, "Can I have it?" And she gave it to me, and I've got nothing in it.
There we go.
Except my Tide Pods.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it. So it's another social deduction game.
Read the last word.
Wait, Durr. This game of social combat. Okay, is this legit for real or is it a joke?
Yeah, this is for real.
Trademark.
It's going to go into
trademark
pre-press next week.
Really?
This is yeah. So
is it pronounced Durr?
Durr.
I love that. I love that title. That's.
I love the knife in the guy's hand.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
It needs to be in his left hand because he's going to have a hard time reaching her.
Yeah, I left that up to the artist.
Next to her. How hard is it to? I mean, it's an awkward stab, but I've stabbed people like that before.
Here's an example of a card.
Nice.
Where's her knife?
She doesn't have a knife.
Why not?
Her words are her knives.
Oh, she's going to El Kabong the shit out of somebody. That's what she's
So, yeah, so that's it.
Who's your artist? That's
Baseball
nice
is a
drawing.
team game.
That guy is a guy named Riza Afshar. He's out in Malaysia.
How'd you find him?
I found him on DeviantArt.
Yeah.
So
DeviantArt is definitely an untapped resource in the board game world. I think people don't give it any.
There's a lot of immature art on DeviantArt and a lot of gratuitous art on DeviantArt. But if you have a style in mind,
yeah. So
what I do is I think about style first, and then I focus on the artist. You can scan through pretty quickly, and there's some real fantastic people on there. The guy who did the cover is a guy named John Guzzi, and I found him on ArtStation. So I'll be making a page for it soon, Aldi. And
all right, let me know.
Hitting you up to let me get the pictures of the individual cards. So.
I think we're pretty much up to date though with the new release information. Eric did a whole bunch of work to get all the Nuremberg stuff coming out up to date.
Cool.
Oh man, they were telling me about this game called The Mind. I don't know if you guys follow the Twitter account, but it's supposed to be amazing. And it's just like the game where you count from 1 to 100 going upwards.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very telepathic and you can't speak. And apparently there's some kind of interesting things it does that just make you feel like you're telepathically connected with the other players. Can't wait to try it.
Ooh,
like I really like the game. I think it's out now, but it's only in Germany.
Das Mind.
Das Mind. I think it's just the mind in German, though. I'm not sure why they're calling it that.
Speaking of games I tried with you, Decrypto's coming out soon from Yellow.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to play that.
I want to play that. I like that. That was fun.
Stream. Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know how we show each other, but I dig that, and it's only $20. So
yeah, it's super cheap.
That when it comes out,
I love Decrypto. I had a great. We played. What did we play for about an hour or something?
Yeah, we sat there and played quite a bit of it, and it was a good time. I liked it.
It's great. A lot of cool little things coming out lately.
I liked it better than that other thing we kept playing. I don't know, the stupid whiteboard game.
Banned words. I want to like that. Like, I really want to like that game.
But I like Taboo better, so I'd just rather play
I know,
Taboo.
like, why not just play Taboo? But
exactly.
Like, I kind of, there's something about it that I even played it at Christmas, and it kind of went over like it did with you, with the group. Kind of a little flat. Nobody quite got it. It's like everybody's too smart for it.
What was the one we played where everybody was drawing at the same time? That was a fun little game.
Doodle Rush.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was good.
They're doing it on a game night, actually. They're doing it.
That was a good time. I can't draw for crap.
I don't know if you remember, but the cards we played, they were the easy side. And we flipped over to the purple side, and the words are just incredibly hard.
Oh yeah, the purple side's
Like,
ridiculous.
So abstract. Oh, you played it? Yeah. It's
it's
so crazy. Have you played the hard side?
I've tried it once, and it did not. We all had negative scores.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
That's what I would expect. The words are so hard. Yeah, it's a cool little game. It's a simultaneous drawing game. Everybody draws for 1 minute. You have 6 words. You draw 6 tiles. You have little 6 whiteboards, and then you once the timer is up for 1 minute, you flip the timer over, and everybody guesses wildly. So I can guess yours. You can guess mine. I can guess Forrest. Forrest can guess Keith's. But unless the person tells you yes, that's right, and hands you the tile, you don't get credit for it. Like, which happened in my game quite often because I was guessing things right, and the person who was the drawer did not acknowledge that I got it right, and then so it's just like, I guess the more players, the more chaos you get.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy chaotic,
and it's legitimately a 7 to 8 minute game. I mean, it's
and then you flip it after the minute's over. You flip back over and you keep drawing, and you can redo your drawing, or you can modify it, or start over, whatever. And then you do that 3 times, so it's 6 minutes.
Did you play the new unlocks yet? Did you finish those?
I only played one of them.
Just the one that we played then.
No. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah. No, I've just played the one with you. I was thinking Exit.
You need to play the other one so I can talk about those with you.
Oh.
Just because there's one thing that amuses me when I'm hoping that another 3-box comes out at Essen for you to have a BGG.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Because I want to play those. I enjoy them.
We failed the one we did, right?
We died on that one. I think we won the rest of them we played after that. Because I played with Lance and I played with the guys I was with. We played all of them, right? I even played the demo scenario at the Asmodee booth and the little bonus scenario that was in one of the boxes. So
you went through all 6.
I played a total of 8 scenarios, I think, on Unlock during BGG.
That sounds right. Yeah, it's a cool system. I really like it.
Yeah, I like it better than Exit because I didn't have the same issues I had with Exit. So that's why I liked it better.
Okay.
I didn't have the artwork. Like some of the cards, the art, you can't tell the difference and you just waste days on it. And you don't necessarily know what's in bounds or not for playing the game a couple of times. But that would be spoilery if I told what I meant by that. Yeah. So, but you know what I mean.
We actually fell into that trap too, where we mistook one of the pictures for another.
Yeah, I did that, and we spent 20 minutes with the wrong thing.
I double checked it though, knowing you had already had that problem. So I kind of went, oh wait, double check it, make sure it's exactly the right picture.
It was 90% the same picture though.
Yeah.
And so, and they're so small that they're hard to see. Plus, you have to write on the cards, and they're not really write-onable with a pencil. They really need to make, and to be honest, so instead of making nice card stock, which they use, Why don't they use that just cheap shit card stock like the $1 deck of playing cards?
Yeah.
Because that would be perfect for that game since you're going to destroy them anyway.
Yeah, you cut. Sometimes you cut them. Sometimes you.
Yeah, you cut them. You're drawing them. Just use cheap ass card stock for it and make the game. Well, make more profit on the game because it's already cheaper.
They probably make more profit for sure.
Yeah, but
those cards they make in that are nice, and just to throw it all away at the end is kind of just weird.
They're okay. They're fine, but it was fun to blow the box up. I don't think they're bad. I just enjoy Unlock way better. So
what did I miss?
We're just rambling and talking about old games.
You missed Jim's new game.
Jim showed a cover of his new game.
His new social deduction. I mean, combat game.
What does social combat mean?
My son was violently ill, so that's where I was. So yes.
Jim, what does social combat mean?
It's basically a take that flavor of game where you're attacking your opponents directly, point based, and you're basically bringing them into disfavor with scandals and suspicions and trying to either vilify them or drive them to disfavor so that you can get the elevation to great house status. So I called it social combat because there's no deduction element. But it's a social game. Social warfare, basically.
I see.
Are there teams or is it everybody for themselves?
No, it's everybody for themselves. But there are agenda cards. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
There are agenda cards, and some of the higher point agendas will say, for example, there can be no villains. You can't vilify anybody. So that can be really tough to do. So the way this game works is you'll get two agendas. One's an easy one, one's a hard one. And you can pick which one you want. You don't reveal it, obviously. But you get a choice of whether you want to play it safe or go for gold when you play. So that'll be something a little bit different than most games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to putting it out.
What was your previous game?
I'm sorry?
Your previous game?
Bemused.
Bemused was his previous social deduction game.
That was, yes, the social deduction game.
There's a game that just came out called Muse.
Yeah, I saw that. No
good
good title goes untaken.
Aldi, is Aldi cracking up for anybody else?
Yes.
Cracking up.
Okay.
Cracking up. Test. Hello.
You were all like, you were very Anthony Ricanoing it there for a while.
This just in. War has been declared in Europe. Is it working normally now?
You mean back when we could trust the news?
It's fine, Aldi.
Okay.
All right, guys. I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm going to say good night.
Good night,
Be well.
James.
Do good things. Have fun defending the castle.
Have fun storming the
May the force
castle.
be with you.
Always.
You guys already talked about Solo?
No, but I want to see it.
I want to see it.
I kind of like the whole part where he's like, well, what position do you want to apply for? That was kind of cool. Did he talk about that in the
All I need.
What's that?
Got Donald Glover. That's all I need. Young Lando. Childish Gambino. He's amazing. Is there an extended
Lance,
trailer aside from what they showed at the Super Bowl? Or is it just that one?
There is. There's an extended trailer.
Oh.
Is it a trailer or a teaser?
It's like a full-on trailer. It's like a good minute.
The full trailer yet.
As I stated,
there's a lot more to it.
As much as I hated The Last Jedi, I am hesitantly excited about Solo. Though it does look like they're going very much tongue-in-cheek, isn't this funny, kind of, which I'm like a little bit worried about.
Did you catch my line that I posted to you on Facebook?
What now?
Don't trust your eyes; they can deceive you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who knows?
Funny to you.
Oh, this the one.
I thought it was being
Howard
clever.
director, right?
Yeah. After did they fire the first director and start it over?
Yeah, it was just kind of all over the place. Though the thing about it is, it's just like the complaint about, and this is, speaking as a as a believer in complaining. Trust me.
Yeah. Chad's begging us not to go down the Last Jedi path again.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Even though after my recent tirade in social media, I got yet another emails or messages from complete strangers telling me that if I just give it another watch after the 2 times I watched it,
is that like playing another game that I would
play
it one more time.
And at this point, I think like Keith is basically like telling me, "Hey, tell Lance to go see the movie again." You know,
I'm not, because I'm on your side.
But so like I'm getting people like that are like, and like the ones that bother me the most are, it's like, maybe you weren't prepared to understand like
psychological impact
or like the mature level of this movie. Maybe
Star Wars
just because I just can't understand the brilliance of it. I'm just like, oh, screw you.
My job.
Just like, I mean, it's just like, I've always had it. Believe what you want to believe, but don't come to me with an aura of like superiority because of what you've unlocked or whatever. I was that arrogant bastard for like 10 years of my life, and I know what a like incomprehensible prick that I was during that time. And it's just like, yeah.
So might be right though. So I think if you do get a chance to watch it 5 or 6 more times, it'll be just like if you punch yourself in the nuts 5 or 6 more times. Eventually, you get numb to the pain.
Well, no, I remember like somebody said you can get used to anything. I mean, if at 8:30 in the morning somebody came into your office and smacked you over the head with a ruler, I mean, eventually you just get used to it and you'd prepare for it. Just like, oh, here we go. Thank you, and let's move on. Yeah, but no. So the thing about it is just like they're like, oh, he doesn't look anything like Han Solo. Well, who are you supposed to get? I don't understand. I don't understand that Harrison is what, he's 70. He's 75, 76 or something like that. I mean, you don't want to CGI him.
Yeah, that's your only choice if you want him to look the same.
Go watch Rebels or something or whatever they put with the cartoon versions of all the.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like that's such a ridiculous complaint. I mean, it's just like your choices are either make the movie and recognize the fact that you're just going to have a guy and like give him kind of try to give him the same hairstyle. And
they kind of did that from the trailer. Like, it looks fine.
I mean, the movie might be complete shit.
It's just garbage. Yeah, but
maybe we'll go to it, and and there'll be people that love it, and I'll hate it. Who knows?
I hope they amp it up times 10.
What, the stuff that I hate?
The goofy Han Solo stuff. Because they kind of took that away with the new movies. He wasn't goofy. It wasn't goofy at all or arrogant.
He was a little.
Very little.
Well, he was old. He was an old man.
It was more melodrama.
Well, in the trailer, he says something like, "I want to be a pilot, the best in the galaxy."
That's when I was like, "Oh, this could be." I double took on that one. I was like, "Oh wait, what is this?" Because I was like not paying attention.
And then somebody was like, "Oh, and well, Peter Mayhew isn't playing Chewbacca anymore. He's like 1,000, and he's like wheelchair ridden
on staff. Yeah. They have him on staff.
Yeah, he's there to like offer up
a consultant.
But
how good is that?
Peter Mayhew, because he is a man who's 7 feet tall, and people that are that large don't live long. And he's like definitely lived. Like, have you ever read about that? Like, the taller you get, the shorter your lifespan. It's just, it's one of the, it's like, it's real, and it's just, so like here you have Peter Mayhew, who's like 7'3", but now of course he's kind of hunched and he isn't no longer that tall. Somebody once said he looks like Lou Reed with gigantism, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally true. Like, if you look at a picture of Lou Reed when he has like, and you picture Peter Mayhew with kind of like his longish hair. But anyway, regardless. So here you have Peter Mayhew, who thankfully is still with us and whatever. But I mean, he can barely walk. He's mostly gets around by wheelchair, and it's just like, so they had him in like number 7, like sitting, like a couple of scenes where him sitting down, basically like piloting scenes, that kind of thing. But that was all he could do, really.
Well, he was in the credits for 8.
He was.
Yeah.
Chewbacca reference or Chewbacca. I can't remember the exact words, but Chewbacca consultant.
Well, I mean, which is fine, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, that is like, you're really stretching. You're really looking for something to complain about. It's just like, oh, well, we didn't clone Harrison Ford, have him born 20 years ago, and then like grew him up and to like be for this movie. It's just kind of like
to complain.
Yeah. And I don't know. But
it
here's
cool.
and,
cool
yeah,
I wasn't gonna go see it, but I think I'm gonna go see it.
Well, I mean, it's just and the thing is, what's really cool is that if you look at Glover, he looks the part. I mean, like if you put a picture
I
of,
hope they come up with some great heist stuff. Like that'll be so cool.
I hope this ends up being a
it's going to be the lead into the Lando movie. You're right.
Yes, give Donald Glover
Lando.
That's why they got him, so they can do a Lando movie. I guarantee it.
Well, I mean, in the pimp jacket.
It depends on what the reaction will be to it. You know, like if he comes out of it being basically the talk of it, then they'll give him a Lando movie. Did you guys hear about the Game of Thrones guys getting their own trilogy?
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
What's that?
Oh,
the writers of the Game of Thrones HBO got their own getting their own trilogy.
Of what?
About the writers themselves writing it? Wait, what?
They're getting their own Star Wars trilogy.
Oh,
hell, that's how they kill the rest of the cast off, I guess.
You're cutting in and out there, Aldi, just so you know.
So they're doing the Star Wars trilogies.
Is this any better? Testing 1 2 1 2. Test.
Well, no, it's like it crackles like pretty much every time you talk. So just so you know.
I thought it snapped a little bit, but I don't know. It kind of pops, maybe.
Here's $1. Go buy yourself a better microphone. He didn't hear that. Dang it.
So there's another trilogy? I thought the dude who did the last one was doing a trilogy. The dude who did Last Jedi.
It'll probably be after whatever the one after the last bad movie was, then a new trilogy off that, or maybe it'll be an original storyline in the universe. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Well, there's enough mythos. I mean, they could build off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they can. I'm curious to see how that would work. You know, like they're killing off the Skywalker claim. So I'm curious if it would still hold people's interest. Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see. After the ninth and final film in the original Star Wars series looms, Disney and Lucasfilm are sticking up big time to continue Hollywood's most iconic. They just failed HBO's Game of Thrones mastermind, Benioff and Weiss, set to write and produce a new series of movies set in the galaxy. It will be separate from the episodic Skywalker saga, which just vowed Star Wars The Last Jedi in December. Blah, blah, blah. Like the Johnson trilogy announced in November, no release dates have been set for the new films. The next movie in the Star Wars franchise is Solo, a Star Wars story.
The thing is now, it's like somebody put it perfectly, and in deference to everybody, because we have mined this dead horse for too long, is that somebody said, and this is just my opinion. It isn't fact, but I agree with this comment. Somebody said it used to be that the release of a Star Wars movie was something to get like super excited about. It was like a monumental, like, oh my gosh, here it is, yet another part of this amazing story or whatever. And now they're just movies. Well, and that's and it's just kind of like, so and I was like, I guess I agreed with that. I was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, it was part of my like essence and being and whatever, but and then eventually I was just kind of, now I'm like, oh well.
The rest got to make back its $4 million or $1 billion it bought it for.
Well, that was one of the dumbest things that I ever. Somebody was like, "Oh, like I posted like the fact that like since like less than 50, like, and admittedly, it is random idiots posting on Rotten Tomatoes, but it is like less than 50% of the people on there say that they think it's good, right?" So, or they like it.
Oh my
you know.
God, are we back to this again?
No. So I posted that, right? And I said, and then somebody, and then this person responded to me by saying, and that's fine. Opinions are fine, but they said, what I think is like the most important is the bottom line. How much money did the movie make? And so they posted that it had made all this money, and I was just like, so then like this Transformers movie is the 15th best movie ever made because it made $1.1 billion.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I honestly
well,
do feel like that has to play a part.
Yeah.
Because, and I always have, because here's the thing. That means that people are going back to see it 2 or 3 times. You know, I obviously don't think that that's the main factor for how good a movie is, but I think you have to consider it. I think you really do. And I do agree. I feel the same way about the MCU now. Like Black Panther has 99 on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go see it. But like, if that was the Avengers at 99 or Captain America or something else, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm stoked for it. It's just, I'm getting burnt out on it. I mean, I still haven't even seen Thor Ragnarok.
I haven't seen Thor.
Yeah, neither have I.
Thor Ragnarok was a good time.
Thor Ragnarok was a good movie.
I want to see it, but that's what I'm saying. Is like that used to be me and my wife's thing. We would go to every single one of those. We'd be excited, but it's just oversaturated now. There's too many of them.
Now I remember making sure I had afternoon opening day tickets so I could just go and see it, you know, and like being super excited to go see like the new Avengers movie. And now I'm just like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll watch it eventually. You know.
I will say though, I got big hopes for the Han Solo movie because that is going to be our son's first Star Wars movie he's going to. So, because we've started to show him the films, and so I'm hoping that one blows his socks off because he's loving it right now. So it better be good.
So I've got 2 movies for me.
So did you guys catch the Game of Thrones guys are getting their own trilogy?
Yeah, we talked about
that before I logged out.
Is my mic any better?
Yes. Well, we made fun of you a lot while you were gone.
Yeah.
Lance was disappointed you logged off right after he insulted you.
Yeah, I was like, damn it. All right, so I want to say something here, and this is now I can feel like I can talk a little more openly about this because it isn't our Kickstarter. So okay, so CO2 like is one of Vital. I really like CO2. I really like that game. I thought it's like I think that game was the one that introduced me to Vital. You know, like and like his games. You know, and so it's on it's on it's on Kickstarter. I think it launched today.
Yep.
It funded. It's like 114 grand. You know, they're gonna do very well, but they are getting in geochicks.it. Like they do things weird.
Kyoki.
Yeah, they do like this weird like not only do they run this one, but they also run one for Europe at the same time, and it's just like, you know, so it's like they run. It's tough to explain. I mean, I don't
probably so they don't run the money through a United States corporation.
Well, who knows?
Right.
It's just
I mean, that's probably why they're doing it.
So it's like they're doing the 2 crowdfunding things at the same time, and so you can kind of like, so depending upon where you're at, that's where you get it. So, CO2 is a fantastic game. I really liked it. You know, and the new version looks really cool, but they are getting blasted in the comments. Like people are like really like, yeah, I mean, there's like really like, I mean, like earlier today, like there was people like there's things that are like, you know, I mean, admittedly it's a lot, the vast majority are people like saying, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. Great, thanks a lot. And then, but it's the same tired refrain of like, why is shipping so much, you know, and they did something that I don't agree with. They did early bird, which is
I hate that.
Which is like, and they did early bird for 100 backers, which was gone in like a minute.
And that's like, a pretty significant. It's $6, €6.
Yeah, so it's not even that much, right? It isn't like, oh, you got it for $20 less.
So they lost 600 euros. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, well, why even have it then? In my opinion, I mean, it's like you were going to get those 100 people regardless. It wasn't like somebody's like, I don't know. Well, for $6 less. I mean, that's just, you know, in my opinion, that's just dumb. I've seen some people like they'll
I think
open
that's
up,
a game to get the hot,
Yeah.
quick backing, and gets you on the hot list or whatever.
but $6, nobody's going to care about that. I mean, who in their right mind who has been waiting for this thing to launch said,
Honestly, I'm really surprised at how I didn't know people were chomping at the bit for this game.
well, it's been on forever.
Sort of mediocrely acceptable. Like when it came, like the reaction to it was pretty mediocre. Wasn't it?
It got surprised me after seeing Vital at Origins. That guy was walking around like a goddamn celebrity.
Yeah,
I saw
he's
people.
awesome. I'm just wondering why it's being reprinted.
Well, because it's been on print forever, and admittedly,
I kind of remember Steven trying to get rid of the last couple copies, but maybe I'm misremembering.
Well, it's because I think he printed too many for one, and plus, I mean, to be fair, I mean, Steven, I mean, and this is not a slight to Stronghold in any way. I mean, the game was ugly. I mean, it was. The original one was an extremely ugly looking game. I mean, it wasn't, and this, it is definitely brighter, and it looks like the components are going to be upgraded a great deal. But so people are upset that they I've been following this campaign forever, and then you launch when I'm at work, and then I can't get the early bird, so it's like a slap in my face, which I'm like, oh geez, whatever. Yeah, but
it's exactly the way I feel too.
Yeah, and it's 100%. Just but if it was an early bird that was $20 less, that'd be one thing. But if it's an early bird for $6, I mean, do you really care that much?
It could be $1 less. It just
it bothers you.
It feels insulting to your fan base that you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the psychological impact.
I think that's ridiculous. I'm going to say that right now.
Fine, then we disagree. But I feel early birds suck.
I don't think anybody should use an early bird. I think
it feels insulting to the other backers.
I disagree.
Luckily, 100 people got in and got a $6 discount.
I think for smaller first timers, it's an invaluable thing. I know my game that I did. I think part of the reason why we had such initial success was the early birds. And I mean, it was $5 off, but I think that really helped us. And so, and for big companies, yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of a crappy practice. I know Mayday.
Why do you think that Simon no longer does it? It's because they don't have to. I mean, it's just whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think for smaller companies, I think it is good. I think it can get people invested and excited about it, and so I don't think it's that bad for smaller first timers or second timers. But yeah, I agree with you on the bigger companies.
Well, I'm so weird. I almost never back right away. I always click remind me. And I'm just eventually I'll come back to this, that kind of thing. I'll take a look at it and I'll see where you're at. And I'm that guy, which might be the worst. But I mean, I'm just always it's tough for me to be down and get excited. I don't know. It's weird. No. So, but here's my thing with this is that one, it's their shipping is all over the place. And plus they've only got friendly shipping in EU and US. They don't have friendly shipping for anywhere else. They don't have friendly shipping for Canada. Canadian backers, not only are they paying $45 for shipping, but they're also going to have to pay the $45 extra surcharge because it isn't friendly shipping.
Yeah.
Friendly shipping is and for those of you who don't know what that is, friendly shipping is well, yes, but friendly shipping is when you have the basically all the little extra taxes and surcharges that come with going across a border.
Yeah.
You figure out a way for them to get that so it isn't you're not double.
This game's probably going into distribution, right? You can get it just like you can get other things.
Yeah.
So just wait for it to come out to your store.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I'll have to pay the extra $45 or whatever it is to get it.
Yeah, there's no I mean I don't think there's any Kickstarter exclusive stuff in it. I mean I'm not. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. There might be.
I forgot about that mess too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is some stuff that is there's new a 3D there's barrels that are limited. There is limited content, so it is you won't you if you want it, you got to back it at this level kind of thing. So so then I see that. So one of their pledge levels, and admittedly, it's like okay, this is $12 more. So you back at 65 euros or 75 euros. One is the game, right? The other one is a game, but it's signed by Vital, and it's just like, and they haven't figured shipping into this at all. Like, so with shipping, people are spending like $100.
Shipping.
So it's shipping. Okay, fine. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like it's a numbered and signed Vital game. That's pretty cool. I look, he literally signed 400 stickers that have numbers on them, and they're throwing them in the games. It's just like, I guess technically it's signed, but you're just. For me, it's like when I hear signed, I'm like thinking you sign the cover, and
permanent ink.
And permanent ink, you get a Sharpie out and you sign the cover, and you
that's typically what it means.
That cover is there's a lot of white on there, and you have Vital. I mean, it might be annoying, and his hand might hurt. You just thank you, or just his name. Just write your name nice. Do 20 a day so that you make sure they look nice. But no, it's like it is a sticker with a number on it. And he's going to sign the sticker, and you can put it at the end. And you can put the sticker wherever you want, and you can shove it up your ass. I would say,
that's what you suggest. Put it on your forehead and wear it around.
So people are going to pay 10 euros for a sticker.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't think they're looking at that.
Well, I don't think it's. I mean, how many people have actually paid for that? I mean, is that a thing?
Let's see, 364 people have paid for the privilege of a 10 euro sticker.
Yeah,
$3,640. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the company's looking at it like that. They're looking at it if we have to sign it. Each box, they got to ship it to him. He's got to sign it, and they got to ship it out. So they're losing money.
He should just come to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it is, right? He should fly to the distribution. Do it.
Well, either way,
I mean, yeah.
So like, and there was
$640 will pay for the ticket.
There was another Kickstarter campaign. I gotta find it, and I don't want to like. I'll have to dig for it. But basically, it was like, because I now I pretty much just check for role playing game stuff. I don't really like go looking for games anymore. Like I'm kind of past it now. But there was like this thing where it's like how to create a D&D session on the fly. Like it was going to be one of those things where it's like all you need is some dice and this source book, and you'll be able to roll. And like, it's like you not everybody showed up, so you can't do the main campaign, so you got to come up with a little like side quest to keep everybody happy, and you can do your session and you can still play. And it was like, okay, that seems kind of neat. And I was like, but once again, I just clicked the remind me button, and I was like, I'll come back to it. So I came back to it, and it was funded. I mean, it was like they had a goal of like $7,500, and they were at like 10 grand. Most RPGs are very, very small. It's like unless you have like a name like Monte Cook on it or something like that, you just don't get a lot of money. And I came back, and they were barely funded, and I was like, what happened to this thing? It was like I finally read the page. They didn't show any pictures. They didn't show any like representation of like how it would work or anything like that. And all the responses were, once the campaign is closed, we will then share how it works. Like they were going to share like pages of the PDF. And it was like, people are like, this is stupid. We're not going to give you our money. And like, it's just like, I was like, I'm not backing this. Even like, it was like $5 for the PDF. And I was just like, I'm not even going to give you $5. I was just like, so like here, this is a person that backed our campaign that I've been discussing, Australian shipping with them. And the Australian shipping is, for them to get CO2 with metal coins, because this with the thing, you don't get like these metal coins, like you got to pay for them separately.
Yeah.
So it's 65 euros. and it's like plus another 45 euros for shipping to Australia, and then plus if they want the coins, it's another 20 euro for the coins. It's 202 Australian dollars to get this game for people, and it's just like and they're just like, you know, and like you know, I'm reading these results and I'm just like, man, I mean, they're funded and they're gonna be fine or whatever, but it's just like, it just seems like there's a lot of things they could have done way differently, and yeah,
Who's
it's
actually
just like,
running it in America?
I don't know.
What publisher? Oh, it's Giochi. I don't know.
Yeah, Giochi, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't know. It's weird, man. I mean, it's just like, you know, and now since I've run. I mean, you know, TMG, but I mean, like I end up doing a lot of the Kickstarter stuff, and it's just like after doing like 3 or 4 of these, it's like I don't look at it through the same lens as I used to, and I'm always just kind of like, you never want to tell somebody else how they need to run their business, right? But it's just like,
everybody's got their own way of doing it.
Yeah, you sit there and you're just like, oh, you really could have. You could have made a better decision
There's
here.
this guy with his name is Board Game Elite, and it says, "Please respond to my message."
What?
So,
You got
it's
a
just one of the.
magic
I'm just going
message?
through the comments.
Yeah.
Please respond to my message. That's Board Gamer Elite.
How do you not respond to a magic message?
I know.
Super disappointing Kickstarter. I love CO2 and have been waiting for this forever. There's no way I'm paying that shipping cost plus duties to ship to Canada. The game will end up costing me almost double the MSRP. Hopefully this can be fixed.
To come to your store.
It will be non-existent. Also, only 100 early bird copies is a huge dick move. People have jobs and can't be waiting around all day.
That's
Hopefully
why
this
it's
company
bad
sees
to
the
it.
bad publicity it's gathering and
It gives
fixes
you
it.
bad feelings to be a fan of a company, and then they have an early bird backer, and you don't get in. Just does. It's human nature.
Yeah, and I guess I get it, and I do, but I mean, we'll never do an early bird. You know, it's like,
and plus you're just giving up money too.
Yeah,
you just put 660 euros on the table, lost, and that's kind of a lot of money in the board game world. I mean,
well, and that's just it. It's like the big thing about that is, and this is something the TMG learned. It's like, okay, we're going to do this game. Okay, we've known we're going to do this game for quite a while. You know, and then I'm like, you know, and admittedly, it's partially my fault too. Like stuff will come up and like, how the F did we not think of this? How did we not? God, we are like amateurs. Like I'm like annoyingly upset when like we forget about things that I think are really important. And so that's why this one with Gentis, it's like I was like, I mean, anything I could think of when we knew this was gonna be our next Kickstarter, and like 6 months out, anything I could think of, I made a punch list, and I was just like, we need to figure this out and that out and this out and that out and this out and that out. And the thing was, it was like, you know, it was just like, and we went over that list over and over again, and we like hammered on it and hammered on it, and there was still shit we forgot, but then it just gets added to the. You keep
it's the
adding
same way
to the
with
list.
like programming, like when you're looking at something over and over trying to find a problem and you can't see beyond what you've already done. So it's good to have some other eyes look at it.
Right.
Which, when you launch a Kickstarter, you're getting thousands of eyeballs looking at it.
Well, that's it.
Want it or not.
And the thing is that I feel like, you know, I don't know, and I get it too. I mean, people are like, well, shipping to, you know, Australia is like super expensive. It's like, yes, it is. You do realize that you are like the furthest away from everything. I mean, like even if you ship from China, it's still a long ways away.
Well, typically, don't they do that retailer-led pledge level then, where someone can buy like bulk copies?
That's
get
one
them all
of the things
shipped
that
at
they
once?
say to us is like, well, why can't we have like a big group buy? Well, okay, so like that's fine, and I get it. You know, if you get 6 people together and you can buy it, but that's why we offer up a retail pledge level for it. But you know, with retail pledge levels, it's like it's really weird how we can offer that, and it's just without going into the math and everything like that, it's tough. And it's we, in my opinion, we offered Australia a really good shipping rate, but there's still places that get left out in the cold. Like, it's like you can only have so many contracts with so many like shipping companies. It's just because at a certain point it's like, and admittedly this sucks for the people that are in that boat, but like, oh, I'm in Bermuda, why is it $80 to ship to me? Well, because you're like the one person for Bermuda that's going to want the game.
Yeah.
We can't feasibly factor you into our shipping concern. It's just like, and that sucks. And but the thing is that anybody who lives in a weird place that's a board game enthusiast, they should find themselves like a good friend that lives in the United States, or find a freight forwarding service or something that you can have that game shipped to them, and then they can personally take it to the post office and send it to you, because you will save money. Admittedly, it's going to take a long time to get those things to you, but it's just like you're gonna save money doing that. And I realize that might be tough, and not everybody has a buddy that they can rely on. But there are freight forwarding services out there. There are companies that's what they do. That's how they make money, and it's and I've told that to people.
Or you just suck it down and pay the money and get the game. I mean, that's.
You sound like, yeah, that sounds dirty. Suck it down and get the game.
That's John Romero terminology right there. Suck it down. Right?
Is that how you get
you guys remember that ad campaign?
Yeah. Oh, I 2 emails today. An average between 1 to 7 or 8 emails of people asking me if they can add on a deluxe Orleans or deluxe Yokohama to their pledge. And
I got a question.
Because apparently we have like a warehouse full of these.
Oh.
People don't.
Yeah.
I'll stop.
Are you guys bringing the those promo tiles that were at Essen? You guys bringing those up anytime soon?
We should be.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
BGG is them. Okay.
I think so. I mean, they were just promos, right?
For what game?
Orleans.
I'm going to say Orleans.
Orleans.
You ever been to New Orleans?
I've been to Nolans.
The thing that stinks, and I'll say this again, and for the 7 people that'll listen to this and don't know, there is an outside shot that like Yokohama, like we'll bring Yokohama back in deluxe. There's an outside shot that all of our deluxe games will bring back, but Orleans probably never will come back. So if you have an Orleans copy of deluxe, hold on to it. Don't sell it. Don't get rid of it thinking you can get it later. It is
only sticker one half of it.
Only sticker one half.
You can preserve.
So I think we uploaded the.
Oh, do you upload the file so people can make stickers?
I think we uploaded the file, or we've made the file available to other people so they can print it off on sticker paper and just make it themselves. But because like in that Kickstarter page, it says we will never reprint this again, and like definitively this is never getting reprinted. And and if we had our druthers, we would go back and do revisionist history and take that back, but we can't. So it's and since then, with every deluxe game, we've said it is very likely we will never reprint this again.
Deluxe games are really hard to make, and they're very expensive to make, and it's not easy to just whip them out. It's a lot.
And for us, it's like
Stegmeyer does it.
Well, I can't speak.
But that's all he's doing.
Yeah, but for us, it's like what it is for us is that we don't make any money off of it. It's like we like, other than the fact that we get more people backing us, which obviously puts more money into our pockets. Like we don't like, oh, we added, we're going to add these wood tokens. It's like we're actually like eating into our profits each time we add anything to it. And we have it all graphed out, like how much adding this will be, how much adding this will be, how much adding this will be, and whether or not we can. And people are like, oh, get these stickers off of the action tiles. Get the stickers off the action tiles. It's like, all right, it's like, well, we're looking into heat transfer. Like I just talked to Joe a little bit about a little ago. And it's like, well, if that works, great. But if it's like, oh, but it'll cost you an extra $12 per copy, we're going to say no, because that's, I mean, it's like we have it graphed out to like what we can like afford to remove, and it's just
to make money.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, but see, and that's
happy through the joy of board games, but also make money.
But that's why reprinting deluxe versions is so ridiculously impossible, because of the fact that how do you even possibly gauge how many copies you're going to
you either do that or you run another Kickstarter or something.
Well, we'd have to. We would absolutely have to run another
Kickstarter.
Like that. It's something like that. Where that's something we're under discussion of, and so like at some point in the future, we might just say, okay, go to our website, and once we have 1,000 people that ask for a deluxe copy of Yokohama, we will tell Panda, all right, print us off 1,000 and send them out, and we'll make it happen. But it's one of those things where it's I don't know. It's our niche now, right? It's our thing, and we won't ever. I mean, I shouldn't say never, as they say, but we won't ever run a Kickstarter that isn't for a deluxe, that doesn't have deluxe as part of it, because that's now our thing.
Hey, Forrest, those promos are on our store right now.
Oh, are they?
Most of them. There's one not there.
That was actually the one I wanted.
But they're all mostly there.
That was my favorite.
Oh,
did you guys hear Rado's moving back to the States?
I knew about it before it was cool to know about it.
What's more surprising is apparently he might not keep doing the channel.
Well, he might actually get a real job again.
I thought he was gonna. Well, here's the deal: he's moving back to a very expensive part of the world, the country.
Well, he's moving to Seattle.
He's moving to Seattle, and that's
$15 minimum wage. Go work at his
he's got a house in Seattle. So
right, but it's just a higher cost of living, right? I mean, it's just.
Yeah. You know what? He will.
Malta apparently is super cheap. He's got he's got his family to take care of too.
Well, no, he's taking care of his mom. He's being an awesome son.
I'm sure that's a more of expense.
Yeah.
Not sure the 50K will cut it. Right? I don't know what did he make on his last one.
I think it was 51. I'm reading there's a huge Reddit post about it, talking about his blow up on Reddit.
He left Reddit. That's so ironic that Reddit is talking about him when he isn't even there.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him because of what he did on Reddit. So it's an interesting read.
Because okay. How many pages is it?
It has, I believe, 200 comments. 202 comments. Which for board game, I mean, Reddit, our board games a lot.
I told myself I'm not reading Reddit anymore. I'm not reading Reddit. I get the same feelings he got when he left. Not that I'm on Reddit to leave it, but I'm just not going to engage it.
What now? Say it again. Just what's on Reddit?
There's a big thread about Rado.
Oh. I'm lucky that I'm small enough that nobody gives a shit about me. It's kind of nice.
Right, when they start talking about, man, you know you made it.
I mean, like almost 5,000 subscribers, and nobody knows me. I'm banned from Reddit, so it's all good.
What was Oscar Wilde? He goes, the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
Nah, I'm good. I'll make my $1.50 a day on YouTube and just go whistling about. But then somebody broke down how, I don't know, they were breaking down his salary based on the cost of living in Malta, and just they wrote a whole page, a freaking essay about how he's screwing people over because he makes this much and he's making 3 times the cost of living in Malta, and it's just whoa.
Well, who cares?
That's a lot.
Yeah, people got way too much fucking time on their hands to do stupid shit like that.
Well, I mean, that's just that's just it's who? Yeah, I mean, he's not holding a gun to anybody's head.
Yeah.
He does a great thing for the board gaming world. He does free Kickstarter previews. No money changing. I don't whatever. I don't even want to start. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't. I never did understand that. But, you
Here's the thing, he took himself out of it because it was
them.
an unhealthy thing for him, right?
No.
When you start focus, and believe me, I'm tempted to write in a script into my internet settings to basically block me from Reddit. I have to force myself not to read it.
Well, I mean, that's just
it's human nature to read the negative and focus on it. And I tried to avoid it. And he did by taking himself off it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was engaging there too, right? He was writing.
Yeah, he was.
I've only posted once on Reddit, maybe twice.
Reddit's just a fickle beast, just in general.
Reddit is where hopes and dreams go to die. I mean, it's just I don't know.
I wish Dig was still around. That was my favorite social, whatever this is, whatever you want to call it.
I love Reddit, but I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of issues.
Just I don't know. People like well, I mean that's fine. I mean people can have their their anger and whatever,
I hope he doesn't leave the industry. It would be a loss for sure.
My understanding is that from our discussion between the two of us is that he's going to be on the Boom quite often. So
woo!
Yeah.
Well, that's a 2-hour difference for him, so it'd probably be easy.
Yeah.
He's been on the Boom twice since I've been on the Boom, and 50% of the time I win $10,000 when he's on the Boom. So I'm in the money.
50% of the time, yes, it works.
Oh, you won that because you won that
FanDuel.
FanDuel.
Oh,
FanDuel. Yeah, is that still around? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I got out. I made my money and I got the hell out.
They yeah, it's I think they like a lot of states have banned it, like that it isn't that it's truly gambling kind of thing, that it isn't a lottery, it's a game of like whatever, right? So they've
it's not a game of skill.
Like New York like banned it. I know.
Do you remember that year of the NFL where all you saw was FanDuel and whatever the other one was?
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Like, yeah. Well, they did was make money.
Of ESPN too.
So did you guys talk about Super Bowl? Anybody watch it?
Yeah, a little bit. Me and Barry. I told Barry how it was nice to see that his town was kind enough to just burn down his hometown.
Did you see the videos? Right there.
Did you see the videos, Barry?
No, I didn't. Jen told me about a couple.
Oh,
I seen like one of them flipping over a Prius or something.
They flipped over a Prius. They tore down the lights. They broke into the Macy's, broke the window, stole the mannequins.
Yeah, I don't.
Fire set.
Fuck Macy's up.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Whether it's devastation or celebration, people loot. Why is that?
Because you can get away
There's
with
a hurricane. There's
raw
3 TVs. There's
It brings out this raw human thing that I don't like to see, obviously. But
it's free
some
stuff.
of the interviews were hilarious. Like what's his name? They call him Big Dick Nick.
Big Dick.
Like Big Dick Nick. I'm like, what? Oh my god. And then the most foul stuff said about Tom Brady. Not the Patriots, just Tom Brady.
Oh yeah. I'm a Denver Broncos fan, and I'm on the Denver Broncos subreddit, and I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, and oh yeah. He gets a lot of hate.
He gets a lot of shit. Man, he can't walk. I bet he can't walk outdoors in public.
I guess I'll just have to go to sleep with my model girlfriend on my bed full of money. Just like, yeah, I'm sure he's crying himself to sleep. Right?
Just that. Yeah, whatever.
No, I mean,
does he does charity work, doesn't he? He probably does some stuff.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, most of them do.
Well, they had to, taxes.
Yeah.
I got to pick a charity for the BGG. I'm going to call it the Game Room of Wonder or something. Some kind of name.
That's a pretty bad one.
Give me a good name. It's basically I'm going to fill an entire room of a BGG full of games. People could come in and take what they want and pay me what they want.
The $90 million man gives away his shit.
Are you going it all to one charity, or are you splitting it up?
It's probably going to be one.
Oh, does it have to be local?
I don't want to take. I don't want to touch the money. And basically the charity's coming in, they will take the money.
Okay.
Directly.
I was going to say, because I work directly with a charity, and yeah, but they're Indiana. They're amazing.
I've done Big Brother, Big Sister in the past. I've done. I think that was the only one I've done actually.
I'll say this. I was going to say this. Shit. What was I going to say? Like having a successful Kickstarter definitely does, like, completely random people contacting me. It's like, oh, hey, I put up an ad on my website for your thing. Think I can get a free copy of the game? What? No. Get out of here.
What if I put up an ad on Board Game Tavern? It's a Gentis ad. Give me a press pass.
Yeah, just like, and then like a lot of people like I got an email today of like a guy who asked for like, he's like, could you please send me copies of these games? He listed off like 14 of our games. And I was like, and he didn't have it, like he said, like he had a name for his thing, but he didn't have like a website or anything like that. And I was like, can you show me like where you could like, you know, like can you show me a video that you've done or any reviews or anything that you've done? And it's just like, they were like, oh yeah, and so it's like, here's a written review of Flip City from like 9 months ago. There was like 2 paragraphs. I was like, yeah, I don't think you're gonna get anything from me. I mean, it's just, kudos to you for like trying to like, you know, get something.
I can't do that. I still can't do that even now, but that takes balls.
Well, and that's just it. It's just like, you're kind of like just hoping that nobody that nobody like says anything, right? That's what you're kind of hoping. Like you just say, oh yeah, here, have some games. You know, you don't even think to look at like to respond with an email or anything like that. But it's it just, I don't know. A
lot of people don't. My buddy Eric, like I said, he gets on a lot of these lists of like these companies that put out games, and they'll be like, hey Eric, we love your channel. We love what you do. We love this game. Just like, yeah, sure, send it here. And then I'll get the same one. And yeah, a lot of people don't do the research. They just, but it's always funny reading those. Like, we're a huge fan of what you do. Would you like this?
No, I just, that stuff like that is like, it's a weird world. It's weird being on, like I said, the other side of the lens, you know.
Was it everything you thought it would be? Do you like it better?
You know, it is what it is. I don't know, but I mean, that's also, it's like one of those things too, where it's just like oh, it's just like, you know, I'm probably gonna have a review of Balloon Pop coming up in the next week or two. It's like, don't even bother at this point. I mean, it was like, you know, I mean, nothing against Balloon Pop, which we thought was a perfectly fine push your luck dice game that, like, you know, we printed off a bunch and we sold a bunch and we'll never reprint it again, you know. And, you know, it was like a $10 game. It's like, you know, you could do a review of that in 5 minutes, and it's just like,
probably,
yeah. That game came out a year ago, and you're just now getting around to it. Just like, you're not helping us at this point.
Are they just like fishing for something else?
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, could you maybe send us a copy of Deluxe Gentis? I should have a review of Balloon Pop up next week.
Are you guys picking up the expansion for Balloon Pop? I saw that at Essen. I was curious if you guys were going to pick it up.
Balloon Pop.
There's no expansion to Balloon Pop.
What? I thought I saw that there was something else, like an expansion for it.
Balloon Pop was created by Andy Van Zandt, like our like one of our game developers within our company. There's no expansion.
The Bubblies game or whatever.
I like that game.
Are you not thinking of the Bubblies game? Bubble
that
Pop?
Might be it.
You're thinking of Bubble Pop.
Oh. Forget that
Bubble
game.
Pop, Balloon Pop.
Okay,
Bubbly
I got a
Pop.
question.
That's what it is.
You titans of the industry. I just played Bruges.
There is an expansion, by the way.
Bruges for the first time.
Oh, well, welcome to 2014.
Oh my god!
Do you guys know that game is out of print?
Is that coming into print anytime soon? God,
not that I know of.
I want it so bad now. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. Yes, I was like, yeah, I saw on Amazon and board game
90.
Oh, I was just hoping like a 60-minute Euro.
Well, you don't want a German version. There's a lot of text in that game.
No, I think I have a
Yeah, it's a
copy
great game.
somewhere.
That's why you should buy every single
I was
game.
trying to take a bite.
That's why you should buy every single game when it comes out, and then you won't miss anything,
Yeah.
and you'll be fine. And then when these $80 games come up, you can be like, I'm done with that game. Give me $80.
I brought every single thrift game in existence already, so now I just need to start getting the new
I know,
stuff.
yeah. You
Well,
could probably
sell-
trade all of that.
Sell
good
100 of
games.
your thrift games, and then you can afford a copy of
and then you'll have more space too. For one
It's
good
actually
game.
kind of redefining my channel, which is interesting. I'm doing.
So the expansion's supposed to be. Did you play with the expansion or not?
I did not. I just
That
got
supposedly
to
like blows it off the doors off of it.
Really.
Yeah, even though the doors are already pretty blown off of it.
I will have to play with them again because I know they said they
Chad
had it.
basically said it. I have yet to play it, but Chad is ape shit over it.
Felt doesn't do too many expansions, does he?
No, he does. He does a fair number.
My opinion about that is like it's one of those things where it's like, oh well, we should put this in. This is something we reduced out of the
main
out of the game. Yeah.
I think a lot of them are like that.
You know what? He doesn't really do that many expansions.
According to my board game geek thing,
I
I own the expansion and the base game. I'll be damned if I know where that is.
Got it in there. It's probably in shrink. Euro. Did you do a review? You probably didn't do a review on it.
No,
I would remember. It's a pretty good game. I really like it.
You should do a review
Yeah,
and
I
then ask
played
EVN
it.
Games for a copy of something. Be like, hey, I just posted that up, guys. What's up?
Yeah.
Press the Bruges. Can I
Come
get
on,
the
Z-Man. Send me some new shit.
Pandemic Legacy 2 set coming your way, Lance.
Fucking, I needed some firewood. Thanks.
Is that bad? Has anybody played it yet?
No, it's just fucking pandemic. Screw that shit. It's getting late. I'm getting grouchy. I'm getting
Punchy.
I'm getting punchy.
What do you mean getting? You guys going to Gamma?
No.
I wish. No.
No.
I was thinking about applying for
Are you going
Press
Gamma?
Pass. I'm totally spaced on it because I would love to do like a bonanza at Gamma.
I don't understand that one.
Well, they're limiting all the press to a room now. I don't know if you saw that.
Where? At Gamma?
The press is not allowed on the floor.
What?
Oh, really?
Forget that.
There are specific areas. I don't know, actually. I didn't really look into it that much.
Why is that?
we do have
I mean,
whole
that seems really ridiculous. Why wouldn't they be allowed on the floor? I mean,
I wonder if they want to focus more on the retailers than the press.
Yeah, I think. I mean, who knows? I have no idea. I don't know what the reasoning is.
Just make something up. It sounds good.
But basically, the press have their own room.
But last year, I heard there was a lot of head lice going around, so I'm assuming that's it.
Chance was there, man. He went to dinner with my friend Mike.
Yeah, I did.
Still waiting on that video, by the way. He's doing another Kickstarter pretty soon. Maybe do a Kickstarter.
Well, then I'll do that. I'll do it for that.
I don't want to guilt you, Lance.
No, you can guilt me all the way. I owe it, and you should guilt me. So I sigh because I'm disappointed in myself, not you.
Oh.
I'm almost. Well, it looks worse now. But
35 days away from Gamma Trade Show. Exhibitor list has been finalized. Attached this email. I'll also be sharing a media list with the show exhibitor, so they know what to expect. There are a few guidelines for capturing footage at the show. There will be no recording / photography of any kind in the exhibitor hall. We have set up a media room and a press conference room for media representatives to conduct interviews and capture any announcements from exhibitors. Cameras are not allowed in presentations. And
I don't mean to be ridiculous, but does that mean you're going to take everybody's phones away?
Yes.
I mean, it's just like because I
guess they just want to keep it all kind of in one area. I don't know.
I never really understood the press at Gamma anyway. It's something you can't get for like 6-8 months, usually, right?
It's usually their pre-Origins, pre-Gen Con. Some of the stuff comes out between then.
Yeah.
Now everything's coming out so quick now, Barry. It's like every show has a set of releases. Yeah.
But like the whole hype thing, just why would you want to hype something up that far in advance? By the time it comes out, people forgot about it or moved on, or
Well, I know one of my most popular videos I've ever done.
Got to start getting people buying stuff early.
I think it was an interview about Cypher Charterstone like a year and a half before it even came out. But having that out there, I mean, you get the initial people who are interested, and then as more people get interested, there's not many videos on it. So, I mean, from a media perspective, I definitely see why. I mean, you'd want to get that stuff even if it's not 6 months out.
Yeah, this is a show where they're getting sort of commitment from retail.
Yeah.
Right? Like, buying the games before they make them.
Yeah, but that's
to
what
adjust the demand, right? Like, so
But-
I mean, I'm not speaking as with any authority. This is what I assume goes on. We were busy the whole entire time last year.
Yeah.
So I'm flying out to LA first and then driving to Reno. It's 10 hours, 11 hours. So crazy.
Because you don't like
Not
yourself?
that
Or
bad.
what?
You know, we got a lot of stuff to take. Just easier to drive.
How far would it be to drive from Texas?
I don't know, but none of the stuff's here. It's all in LA.
It's all in Lincoln.
Yeah. It's with Lincoln. And then he's going to Cannes in 2 weeks.
The film
Oh,
festival?
is he?
Game festival. Do you know
Canada's
there's
a
a
game
200,
festival?
yeah, 250,000 attendees. Pretty fucking big.
I didn't even know
What?
that was can.
Yeah.
Is it part of the film festival?
No.
It's just
What kind of game?
It's
Video? or-
Society de Jeux or something like. I can't remember the it's all board games.
Really?
Tabletop.
Never heard
Yeah.
of this.
I know. We didn't either until
Cannes?
last year. Cannes, France. South of France, where they have the Cannes Film Festival.
Cannes Game
There's a
Festival.
game festival as well.
How will he with the language
Streaming.
barrier? I know.
Yeah, we're getting Festival de Jeux. I don't know. My French is terrible, but basically, it's a game show in France, game fair, with free. It's free to go to. And it's huge. Massive. And we're having a booth there. And
That'd be
streaming.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is it like all Europe's publishers or just French publishers or?
I assume anyone who wants to go can go.
Second largest festival in Europe aside from Spiel. 30th year they're doing it. Wow.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Never heard of it. I love all these, these game shows. Like, I know blowing your own horn is like a great thing, but like when they say we're the biggest after Gen Con, it's like, no, you're not. The French one is way bigger than you. Like a lot of these conventions that are bigger than BGG Con. I would never, just so you know, there are more than just America conventions, guys.
Yeah. Or
Not all of us are worth $90 million.
Well, I mean, when you basically brag how large you are as a game convention, like,
Yeah.
and you don't know that there was a game convention in France that has hundreds of thousands of attendees.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, it's like everything else. If you say it on the internet, it's true.
It is true.
It started in 1987.
I never heard of it.
It's a fun atmosphere to enjoy traditional games, great classics, board games, video games, simulation games, collectible card games, and more. I don't know how many video game stuff goes there.
So do you know of any data saying, like, is board games bigger in Europe as opposed to the US? As I know it's getting bigger in like Japan and China now too. But, like, do you know any place we could look for data on that?
Yeah, bigger in certain countries by like what gross revenues kind of thing.
Yeah, not necessarily countries, but regions, I guess. Because I always assumed it was bigger in Europe than over here.
I really have no idea. Yeah.
I imagine by like per person playing it is, because I mean, I was blown away by just their toy stores and game stores and everything over there. I mean, it's
definitely in the
they're
culture
playing-
more. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would imagine per person, like per 100 people, I imagine board gaming is more popular over there.
You go to any game store in Germany and you're going to get a mountain of board games more than you get here.
Yeah. I guess you would have to do that.
They may not be the ones you're interested in, like we're interested in. But it's got a lot of stuff.
I guess you would have had to do that by sales.
More family stuff.
Maybe I'll look into that. Next time I blow my back out and can't move for 3 or 4 days. It's coming.
Yeah, do a research project.
I still ain't got this fucking room settled out. The whole month of January I was down.
I think I've tapped out of all my interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, I was just
I have one more thing.
Uh-oh.
Did you see Restoration Games has hired the Murph brothers to be their media arm?
No, who are the Murph brothers?
I think that's a good move.
They're guys.
They're
that do
very
videos for board
popular
games.
Dice Tower personalities.
I've
They're
never
pretty
heard
much
of them.
two
There's kind of a
wild
funny,
and crazy
there's
guys.
kind of a funny video. Yeah, they're two wild and crazy guys. They're
Yeah.
funny. They're enjoyable. They I guess they got like some kind of I have no idea what they're. It's hard to figure out what it actually means from the video that they posted. Because Justin just tells them, "Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing." But I assume Restoration Games has some sort of financial.
I hope they're
investment
doing well. I was actually going
You
to
know
talk,
them?
talk to them. I was going to send them like a list of games just for check out.
from
Like
the checkout.
just a friendly like because I mean I'm going through all these retro things and oh my god, some of them are really actually
really
pretty good.
bad.
Some of them are really bad. Oh my god.
I can see some of that stuff.
So this right here, this is my grievance. This is a game called Limbo. You know what? You know what it is not? It's not Limbo.
A game about going under a pole.
It is 5 wooden blocks and 1 small wooden block that has Velcro on it, and then you attach this thing to your nose, and you bend down without touching the floor and try to pick up this piece of thing. But the rule is you can't actually touch the ground. So you are leaning as far as you can forward with the full weight of your body trying to smash your nose against these wooden blocks. I about broke my nose playing this in the classroom, and
Wow,
2
that's
of
a
my
pretty
kids
stupid
about
game.
broke their nose.
Wait, I don't get it. That thing
Okay.
will pick up one of those blocks?
So all the blocks are on the floor, like this.
Yeah.
And then you have to wear this thing on your nose and completely just bend over, can't touch the ground at all, and put your nose down to the wooden blocks and pick it up without touching the ground.
Oh, just that one.
Yes. Well, they're all stacked up.
Oh, to make it
as
not
everyone
on the
does it,
floor.
Take a block away.
You take a block away so it gets close. Wow, that sounds like
you're leaning your
a back
entire
injury
body
waiting to
forward.
happen. Yeah. I mean, kids would probably be able to do it.
It was
Forrest, I
amazing.
got a hint for you. Stop going to the thrift store for games.
Non-fat
Oh,
people could probably do it.
No. I didn't get these from the thrift store. This was all a big haul that I got from a guy.
Oh yeah, so you could just take that and put it right in the dumpster. That's just
really-
weird.
Right in the fireplace.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you'd
review it.
burn-
This is gonna be a hot review right there.
That'll save your It'll save you a little couple bucks during winter.
Reviewing that bad boy tomorrow. That's gonna be a big hitter for me.
Jesus.
So you got leverage up there. Is that any good? Is leverage any good? I always wondered.
What? Leverage?
I see you got
Oh my
leverage
god.
up there.
Leverage is actually one of the ones that I was going to email them to check out. Leverage is a fantastic abstract strategy game. Like, it seems like it's just this gimmick, but it actually works incredibly well. There's 2 different ways to win the game. It's got alternate victory conditions. It has been, without a doubt, probably the best game I've tried in probably the 50 to 60 games I've tried since I got this.
Oh my god, you have so much free time. What about
Although I
Advanced the
play them in my
Boardwalk?
classroom. I play them
Oh,
in my
that's
classroom.
right. Yeah, you're making it part of your work. What's Advanced the Boardwalk is any good? I remember when I remember it, but I never played it.
Actually, it was decent. The kids found it boring. Essentially, you're trying to. It's actually an area control game where you're trying to get your various different hotels on top of this board, and if you have control of an area, you get the money. It's actually a really simple family weight area control game. It's not terribly bad, but the kids in my class found it boring.
Does it have a designer name on there? I guess I could look it up.
One of these old ones don't. I don't see one.
Uncredited.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
actually
Charles
pleasantly surprised by it, and then I
No, it
asked
has
the
a-
kids, and they were like,
Yeah.
"No, that game sucked." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." The problem with the Monopoly games that I've played is they feel the need to have these wildly swingy cards in the game. Like, this game's a pretty rock solid area control family weight game, but then they have like these cards where it's like, "Ha ha,
Wipe out the
tsunami
space.
crushes your hotel." All this, you essentially lose 3 turns of work. It's like, what the hell?
Nah.
Damn it, Milton Bradley.
random events.
Damn it.
Yeah. The other game,
Plus, the tsunami kills everybody too, so they don't really cover that part.
It just broke the hotel, that's all.
Everybody had to go to the top floor and just wait till the water went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on the roof, wait for the helicopter.
Just sat up there waiting patiently. But yeah, there you go. Well, I had something I wanted to say, and then now I've forgotten.
Getting old.
Yeah. Well, no, I had it, and then I was like, then somebody said something, and then I was.
By the way, just so I'm not misconstrued, Gamma didn't ban press. They're just not allowing them on the exhibit floor.
Oh, so like I said, they're not gonna have nobody's able to take their phone out.
Oh, I'm sure. Come on.
Somebody's gonna walk up and smack it out of your hand.
Between you and the Dice Tower, people pretty much see everything coming out anyway, right? Or is the Dice Tower not going again this year?
Yeah, Dice Tower is.
I don't know if they're going or not.
Last time they not banned from being one of the media lists.
No, that's who knows. I mean, that's one of those any press is good press type of things. You know, supposedly.
They said people were invited. We got invited. That's the story we know. I don't know what else happened.
Solid story.
What'd I miss?
No, I mean, Tom basically said he was banned from Gamma on his videos.
Yeah, based on his don't support your friendly local game store.
Which what a big blowout about nothing that was.
That was not true though.
No. I don't know. It's that's just whatever. I mean,
don't need to dredge all that up again. I don't know if they're going. We're going. We're in a live stream.
I really don't think it's going to change anything if they go or if they don't go. I mean, it's going to get covered. Origins.
The games will come out. They'll get covered.
Yeah. It's just weird.
People are weird, man. They just they latch onto things.
Kind of curious to see how Reno is. You ever been to Reno, Lance? Are you going? Can't remember.
If I am, I haven't been told. So
I would think you would probably want your tickets by now because it's like in a couple, like less than 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Less than that, 5 weeks.
So I am guessing I am not going to be in attendance, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with not going.
You ever been to Reno?
I have.
What is it like? Mini Vegas?
Yeah, not even really, but yeah, kind of. I mean,
Gordon
Ramsay. The only reason I really wanted to go last year was because my brother lives in Vegas, and so I got to I just kind of I stayed a few extra days, and I got to just hang out with, my middle niece and my youngest, my only nephew. You know, so, and so I got to go and watch a baseball game of my nephew who played in, pitched, and things like that. And I just got to hang out with my brother, because everybody went home, and then I hung out in Vegas for 2 more days and just kind of bummed around town with my brother for a couple of days. Just enjoyed Vegas.
Oh, have you been to you've been off the strip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine that, but kind of lower rent.
Like Fremont?
That was kind of like my experience.
A little lower than that? Oh, boy. Okay.
I mean, I liked Reno. I liked it a lot. There's some good deals to be had, too. I mean, if you're looking, do some gambling, get some
I suspect we'll be working.
People are losing their minds over why they haven't got their Rising Sun yet, though.
I got mine today.
Where's Pete when you talk about it?
Yeah,
I didn't back it, but I still haven't gotten it. Bullshit.
You didn't back it? You still haven't gotten it?
No.
So, have people started playing it? I guess they have. I need to look at. I still can't really quite grasp what kind of game it is. I need to look and see.
I don't know.
I just don't know if it's the kind of game for my group, right? Like I will not play a Game of Thrones style game with them. I fucking hate it.
Why not?
It's the worst. Because everybody in my group is a really good liar, and I hate the feeling of being backstabbed or betrayed or lied to in games. Even though it's in games, fine.
Does it matter the length of the game?
Oh, that absolutely matters. If it's like coup, whatever, I don't care. Coup is no big whoop. Werewolf, no big deal. Sorry, One Night Werewolf, no big deal.
Don't mess with Cthulhu, that sort of thing.
I need to play that. I haven't played it.
Oh
But,
my
yeah.
gosh, you need to play
Those kind
it.
of games, I'm totally fine with that. But like the long Game of Thrones game where you're like, are you going to go there this turn? No. Okay, I'm going to go there. Okay, cool. Well, we'll just, you go there and I'll go, that kind of like where you prearrange some things. And then all of a sudden you're like, boom, the dagger comes out and stabs you in the back. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I get it.
I love that. We're actually planning on a Democracy
I hate it.
coming out later this year.
Yeah.
We're going to hopefully get a game of that going because I've just heard so many terrible, terrible things.
Of what? Diplomacy?
Diplomacy, not democracy.
Diplomacy. Oh, okay. But, yeah, I've never played Diplomacy, but I never will.
The big thing that they're doing with Rising Sun or whatever is that, like, to find out, like, for tracking and whatever stuff like that, it's very people are like, it's very difficult. Like, they're not getting emails like saying, hey, your stuff's been shipped, that kind of thing. And then, and so people are like, oh, well, where's my shit? And they're just like, oh, just like, oh, well, I don't know, just like, because you don't have an email, you don't have a tracking number, I don't know. It's, and I'm not saying this because Pete's gone and because he can't defend it, but I do feel like, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like CMON said, oh, we're going to deliver this in like late 2018. And so like now they can deliver it now. And it's just like, oh, all of a sudden you're just like, hey, look, we got it to you this early. It's just like the Scotty from Star Trek thing. It's just like, if you say it'll take 3 weeks and it only takes you 1, you look like a genius. I mean, I can't say this, that, the other thing about Rising Sun, but I mean, there were copies available. I mean, they gave away copies at Dice Tower Con, like July of last year.
And they auctioned it off.
Yeah, wasn't it a special thing though?
Well, but the thing is that, and I'm not here trying to talk crap about another company, and I feel kind of bad saying so, but I mean, that for me raises a huge eyebrow for me because like they had copies. What? It's
a prototype copy. Can't be.
Yeah, wasn't that
a pre-production copy?
Well, but pre-production copies are, unless they radically change the way they look. Those copies they gave out were. I mean, I can't know for sure, but I'm guessing they're 99.9% of what was in the copies that people are getting now. Maybe all the stretch goals and stuff.
I bet they did like a pre-production run to have.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying, like,
I think it was a poor decision. It was a really poor decision. And
what?
There's no way. Something happened. Like
what
in
decision?
The production to give away copies last year in the summer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But it was for a charity. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was
But yeah, I mean, I don't a lot of companies have we got copies of copies of Dragonfire at Gen Con. You couldn't buy that game till like January. They do runs that are like test the production, right?
Sometimes
that they use.
Well, usually it's like 6 copies though. It isn't like you do a print run of 1,000 of them or something. I mean, maybe I'm talking out of my ass. It's just, but that was.
I'm just trying to explain it. I mean, obviously it could be weird, but I don't think anything.
He's mansplaining you, Lance.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to say, like, we get copies of stuff that isn't available, and like in mass numbers until 6 months later, which is what I assume happened here. Maybe not, but I don't. So what's the problem? Like, just because tracking is awry?
Well, the fact that nobody knows where it is, and they're like,
weird thing about CMON that I can't fathom is I usually get I don't even get a tracking number. My thing showed up today. I usually will get my tracking number like next week.
Oh,
which is
okay.
Their system is kind of weird.
I want to backtrack real quick. So there were 6 copies that were given away, and it was for a charity to support Child's Advocate charity. So it was a very limited print run. And they raised, I'm assuming, a lot of money for it because I know it's one of the hottest games out or coming out. So it wasn't a huge run. I mean, it was 6. And it was for
they sent a bunch out to press too. I remember all the people doing reviews and stuff, right? Like Tom and them.
Yeah, I mean there were plenty of copies floating around.
No, I think that was even before that though. Like this was at that Gen Con. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's all a little bit hazy.
Didn't they sell some at Gen Con?
No.
No. Essen?
People would have lost their minds. Maybe at Essen, I don't know.
Maybe Essen. They definitely, there was some for sale. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they did do it perfectly. I mean, like, basically, it was $100 for the game, and then they worked it out so if you wanted everything, it was another $100. It was like, because, like,
normally it's like 400.
Well, yeah, it was like, but it was $100 for the game, and then if you wanted the playmat, the big playmat for it, that was like $25. And then like the metal coins were another $25, and then the expansion was $50. So it was like $200.
Yeah, done. You start out spending 100. By the end of it, you're spending another 100. You didn't realize you spent it.
Well, the thing is that you're gonna get the expansion, right? Because the expansion had Kickstarter exclusive.
Some people would
minis, you know. So you're like, oh yeah, well give me the expansion too, right? And then you're like, well, you're sitting at $150, and it's like, well, those coins look pretty cool. And well, shit, I might as well get that board. And then it's just because at that point I'm spending $150. I'm gonna feel stupid if I don't spend $200. So everybody was just like $200.
They've tapped into the psyche of gamers with acquisition syndrome.
No.
Oh
no!
I gotta call it tonight, guys. I hear my 2-year-old screaming. So.
Oh well, I hope they're well. My son is sick as a dog.
I hope you guys don't have the flu, man.
Oh no, we just got him out of his crib, so now he's got his bed, and he does not like to stay in his bed. He's woken up in the bathroom, in the kitchen, everywhere. He's pretty much just a drunk frat boy now where he sleeps.
Good luck.
Nice.
But I will see you guys next week, hopefully.
So the big thing is that they use Geek Funder for their pledge manager.
Geek Funder.
Yeah, they use this thing that's Geek Funder, and then I don't know. Just if you do a search in your inbox, and you can click on the link and you can log in. But the thing is that like I'm in phase 1 shipping, which is what everybody is to like get a chip to, and it's like the tracking number like it populates with no tracking number, and everybody's like logging in and they're like it's not populating with the tracking number. So people are like, well, where's my shit? You know, I mean that's what they want to know.
Oh, Song of Ice and Fire. I guess I never filled that out. That was in October.
You'll get nothing. You'll get nothing.
Like it. Yeah. Believe me, I've been down this path before. Why do they call it Geek Funder? What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's just like
they took away my crowdfunding name for my crowdfunding program that I was going to do.
What?
Oh my god, there's so many add-ons for Game of Ice and Fire.
I mean, I have the thing was, it was like I like the Reaper. I said this, the last Reaper Bones thing where I pledged $100, but I didn't actually give him any extra money because I wanted to like wait for the pledge manager, and now I'm just like I want my $100 back because I'm just like I'm never gonna paint these stupid minis, and I have too many, and now I'm into Warhammer, and that's all I'm gonna be playing.
Yeah,
and
it's just Warhammer is just they make great minis to paint. They're so hard.
Like way better quality minis than my Bones, and it's just like. But I mean, the $100 is spent and done. It's gone. Fine, whatever. But it's just like, yeah, there's no way I am increasing my pledge. But thank you though. Just like
where do you keep it all? Do you have like a giant box?
I have a giant tub with
white plastic.
Filled with white plastic.
White plastic.
Yeah, I went out and I just because I had all these little tubs filled with them,
sorted,
and like kind of sorted. And then, I mean, there's like, I sat there and I considered it was like, because like there's like, I have like 100 orcs, right? And I was like, well, I mean, orcs are like so quintessential. I should just like, you know, I told myself I could like prime these green,
give them like a blast of color and be done.
Yeah, give them, and then just one by one, just burn through them and like, you know, just like okay, and then slap some. Like get the steel out and slap it on the weapons and the thing, but it's like but I was just like, why would I bother? I was just like, so it's like, so I went out and I bought like one of them, like, 40-gallon drums, basically a tub. And I just
giant Starlight.
Yeah, I just dumped them all in there, and they're underneath.
I wish there was a better way to find painting surfaces. Like I want stuff painted, but I just can't be bothered to figure out how to get it done.
Well,
I don't want to paint. I painted a Skaven army and a, Skaven. Do they still have the Skaven in the Warhammer?
Oh yeah, the Skaven Age of Sigmar army is they've.
It's huge, right?
Well, they're huge, and they're more. They're called clan pestilence. So it's like they're all about, they're like these plague monks, and they have the coolest siege engines. They have like these cool catapults, and they're filled with all this like rotting
flesh,
rotting flesh and goo, and they're just they're super cool. As far as like an army goes. Plus they pair well. Yeah, they got the Doom Wheel, and they pair really well with Nurgle units, like teamed up. But yeah, it's just kind of like, the thing that annoys me about my the Bones Pledge Manager is that, like, they're like, oh, it's like, so it's like, okay, so the core set was $100. I was like, all right, so I've already I got that. And it's like, all right. Now I'm like, oh, you owe us $9 to have it shipped to you, and I'm like, what? Screw you! I don't even want to give you the $9. I mean, as dumb as that sounds, it's just kind of like,
dude, I've been there with. I think back in the day, I think I told you I was a few dollars short in a pledge for my shipping on. What was the first big CMON game after? It wasn't not Zombicide, but the one after that with the little chibi guys. What was that called?
And I like that game too, and I can't think of the name of it right now.
It's a competitive dungeon game where you're controlling the monsters and fighting.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's an Eric Lang game.
Yeah, and I actually like it, and my daughter likes it too, and that's one of those things I want to get rid of. But
Kabuki, help us out. We know everything. By the way, she tagged me on Arcadia Quest.
Arcadia Quest, yeah.
And I was short, and then they didn't send me anything, of course, and filled it out. And then they sent me the stuff, and it was the painted. I did the painted set because they sold it relatively cheap for painted minis, and I got on it. And so they sent me the painted minis, but no game. And it took me almost a year to get the actual game to be playable. So crazy. I went through all these different tiers of problem solvers, and the person would quit, and then I got a new person, and definitely like a weird growing pain kind of, where it took me almost a year to the day to get the actual game. Because they were coming out with the expansion, right? And I had pledged for the expansion too, and they're like, well, you want to just wait for the expansion? Because then we'd have to send you another bot. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll wait for the expansion. Whatever. Just send me the game.
Did you ever play it?
Nope. Nope, Barry, I have not played it.
I actually enjoy the game. So one of the things that I've actually considered is that, like, instead of getting this giant box of minis, which I'll end up getting the minis, but I've considered they have bases. They have like clear, like oval, and they have oval bases. Then they actually have like the flight poles that you use to so the things are flying, and they're like relatively cheap bases. It's like it's like a 45 for in the pledge manager or whatever for Reaper.
For Reaper Bone.
For my Reaper Bones, and it's just like, oh, well, I could
use those for something else.
I could because the
Lance.
I know I could just say, screw it, take my $100, but give me a bunch of. I just want a bunch of bases.
Back to Joan of Arc.
Because
that pledge manager just went live. I caught that one.
Yeah, Anthony is finally. I might piggyback on Anthony's. I don't know. It's like, it sounds really cool, but what's the all in on that? Like $400? $700 to go all in.
You're not gonna do it.
No, stupid. I won't. I won't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have a lot of stuff that they did not have on that campaign.
Well, that's just it. It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, I'll never play it. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is that I'm weirdly growing up. You know, I'm just like, I'm at this point now where I'm just like, I'm beyond the gotta own it, gotta own it, gotta own it. You know, I sit there and I look at it and I'm like,
enjoy what you have. Yeah.
I'm never going to play that. It's never going to hit the table. It's never going to get played. You know, does it look cool? Sure, but it's like, you know, right now, like I'm having more fun. Like,
yeah, it sounds like you're having a lot of fun with your daughter.
Well, yeah, I'm having more fun playing Warhammer with her than anything. You know, honestly,
dude, that's where I started too. I mean, the Games Workshop product is a solid product line. I really enjoyed it. I put many hours.
I will sit around.
I still want to play Shadespire.
Shadespire is legit, and they are so. I mean, they have like completely, like done a brilliant thing with Shadespire. One, the game is just fun. Two, it's fast and easy to teach, and it's one of my top games of last year. I mean, it was just so good, and they are constantly supporting it because they are coming out.
Awesome.
They're coming out with new teams. You know, it is. I mean that, and the coolest thing is that the models that they're creating, they're actually giving them war scrolls, so you can incorporate them into your Age of Sigmar armies.
Oh, cool.
So like
I like that because the Warhammer Quest did that too, right?
Yeah. The Sepulchral Guard, which is like this team of 5 skeletons, you can use them in your Death Rattle army for Age of Sigmar.
It's smart. It gets you into the system, and you can like go across all the games. It's super smart.
And those minis are, and Shadespire is like I said, it is legit.
I remember reading about it and being like, yep, I think I want to play it. I mean, normally I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to put the time in for Games Workshop things, but like I would love to put in the time for Blood Bowl. I just don't have the time. I love Blood Bowl.
You know what, I love more than anything is that like Blood Bowl. Like if you like Blood Bowl, then just get it on your computer, dude. I mean, because like Blood Bowl 2, and then just pay the $50 to get everything. So you get all the races, all the downloads, everything. And they keep expanding on it. They keep adding more and more stuff in. But like I sit and play. I made a necromantic team, like the werewolves and the flesh golems, vampires. And the vampires are on the vampire team. But I mean, I made that, and you can play against the AI, and now they have a thing. They have a thing, and you can scale the AI, but I mean, they have a thing where you can play. It's called Eternal League, and it actually goes through seasons. So it's like you take your team and like you enter in like the Chaos Cup, and like you play 5 games, and each game takes you about a half hour, 45 minutes to play, and then you just play them, and it's just like, and it's like it's Blood Bowl, and a lot of the upkeep that was kind of annoying with Blood Bowl, like figuring out, okay, is that guy is plus one minus one, it does it for you.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of stinks is like have like a magazine, which sounds dumb, or just have your phone out, because the AI will sit there and think about it, and sometimes it's really annoying. It's like you get 4 minutes to do your turn, so like you can't just sit there and like have it sit there. And the game's smart enough, like if you pause the game, like and you come back, the timer still goes. So like you can't sit there and pause it and think of what you want to do. So, but 4 minutes is more than enough to do your turn. So it's just like, so you do your turn and you figure out what you want to do and whatever. And like the computer will figure out, and the computer just sits there and like, it probably like works through its algorithm, like, as far as, oh, what's my chance of doing this? What's my chance of doing that? What's the best option I can do? And like they'll use up their 4 minutes, and then the timer will stop at 1 second. and then it'll let the computer do its turn. So it's just you're just like, come on, I have to figure this out in 4 minutes, but you get all the time in the world. But no, I mean, like, get it on Steam, or if you got a PlayStation. I play mine on PlayStation, and the thing is like there's a buddy of mine that I can play over the internet against him. We can sit down and play Blood Bowl, and you don't have to. I mean, I still love Blood Bowl, and I still love the minis game, but there's nothing worse than when you absolutely desperately need, to get that block and you roll double skull. I mean, you're just staring at it like.
We played a league back when I was into it, and it's so great. Some of the greatest gaming moments you get out of that game.
Oh, or when like you got two spaces to go.
There's no way I could fail the second reroll. Or whatever, 6 or 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
Or when you're Skaven, because I always played Skaven teams because speed kills, baby. And it's just like and like your race, because they can move at like 9. Your gutter runners, so like the fastest thing on the thing, they can move half the field, and if this long and like you could sprint with them 3 times, and so you move the 9, and like there are 3 spots to the end zone. You like just don't roll a 1, and like you roll 1 die, he's fine. Roll another die, fine. 1 every time.
Third time.
Every time. It slips, falls. Football flies out, and then and those things were so weak they'd have no armor, so they'd knock themselves out,
knock them down. Yeah,
just like you're like
good game.
Oh yeah, like you said, it has those memories that fantastic stuff. So, but anyway,
so Joan of Arc may not rise to the, but who knows? Who knows what it'll be? I'm hoping to try it.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, a game like that, it's a lot of money to put out on something you don't know how it's going
to
play. Yeah.
I think the bare minimum is 100 and something, 120, 140, something like that.
Yeah.
Just to get the base set, which is the way Games Workshop works too. The basic box is like 100 and something.
Yeah, 120, 150.
So what you been up to, Barry? You been doing any gaming at all? Just kind of chilling.
I played Fallout.
Fallout the board game.
Board game, yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did the solo play of it.
Oh, what does that do? You just fighting the system?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how it works with. Jen's been working some weird hours, so we haven't really had time to get to the table.
The multiplayer was kind of weird with the way it's scored. Like people who weren't we had a couple people come in our game late, and they end up winning, which is kind of weird. We just wanted them to play, and they ended up winning, which is so crazy because the way the scoring works, like in the game that we played, there's 2 factions.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the factions the one that won, that I basically directed to win because I thought I would win. They really didn't have anything to do with it, and they just ended up winning the game because of the cards they had in their hands.
Right.
That I never saw. So it's kind of weird scoring thing going on. I mean, I like the story of it, and the flavor of Fallout, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Chad Roberts.
I enjoyed it.
Chad Roberts.
I never played the video game, so it's kind of an interesting world. It kind of reminded me a little.
You never played the video game?
No, I don't really play
totally
video games.
Okay.
Yeah, I never.
You got that big gaming computer? You don't play video games?
Yeah, for editing, basically.
Oh, okay.
When I bought
it, power. You could play Fallout.
Yeah, I'm sure I could. I don't know if
Fallout
the keyboard
is definitely one of the greatest games ever made.
If I could get a controller for it, maybe.
Yeah, you can get an Xbox controller with a dongle, like a wireless dongle, right. USB thing you plug in, and you can play wirelessly. Or wired. They have wired ones too, but wireless is better.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into that.
Play it.
Hook it up to the TV.
Oh yeah, do you have like an HDMI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I gotta find. I think my mother-in-law still got.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see. I like I said, I enjoyed it.
Does the solo game sound familiar? Was it the faction thing again, or was it just you were just playing through? Do they give you a different starting adventure? Do you remember? Or you probably don't know.
I don't know.
Play
With the solo, you're playing against a faction. So,
What game are you talking about?
Fallout, the board game.
Oh, yeah, that's another one that I thought I'd want to get into, but then I realized, why would I get this? I'm never going to play it.
And
Pretty much, I love the Fallout world.
I think the scoring though is kind of weird. It's not big enough.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with me. Is every so often you push these two factions up, and I just ran out of time. They got to the bottom before I could get the 11 points.
Oh, it's sort of a race. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's neat. Yeah, I mean, I only played the starting scenario. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's what I played. So yeah, it would be the same, regardless.
Yeah.
You start out with the same starting card and all that.
I forget who I played. The humans, maybe? The cave, or no, the vault dweller.
Okay.
That's who I played.
Yeah.
The vault dweller.
I did play the human. And then there was like side quests and shit, which I don't know if it was advantageous to go with them or not. Yeah. Like I said, I only played it one time.
Better, like, gear.
Yeah.
To try to get the special gear and all the power, and it has all the flavor.
Yeah.
It's just the game part is not so,
at
least in my mind, finished. I don't know. Needed a little more, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm not a designer, but Matthew Monin had actually worked on some alternative scoring rules.
Oh, did I didn't even look at BGG for that. Play Chimera Station too. Me and Jen played that.
Damn straight.
Oh, I got that open.
Oh, thank you so much for being on top of that.
I still haven't played my copy of Yokohama.
Oh man, that's good.
I don't think I played anything but the Japanese version of it.
Yeah, we played that at Origins, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah, I don't think I played your version of it, TMG's version of it.
Well, it plays exactly the same.
All right, so then I did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I remember Seth, like when we like you guys, we put the TMG promo. We gave that. I think you guys have it in your store. Boy, that was an interesting day when I got probably, I'm going to guess, close to 100 emails from people saying, oh, well, since, we backed Deluxe Yokohama, will you be sending us a free copy of the promo? I was just like, what? Just like, when did we ever say, like, this is a legacy copy and we will just, if anything ever comes out for it, we will make sure that we
Deluxe means everything, Lance. Man, come on.
Yeah, Lance.
Yokohama achievements and free agents promo. I don't think I've played with these actually.
I mean, to be fair, Daniel, who is like one of the nicest guys in the world, and he's the president of TMG, his response when I complain about something like that is he says, he says, isn't it fabulous that we made something so amazing that people are this passionate about it that they just want something, they want it to be a complete copy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Daniel, at some point you got to stop being like this nice. You have to
curling is on, guys. Curling is on.
Before you started with TMG, how were you, Lance? What were you like?
I don't know. I was all sweetness and light, I believe.
A completionist. I had to have everything. Just sits on my shelf.
I was very understanding. And never complained, I believe, was the
that bullshit you complain all the time.
yeah, I don't know. And not to cycle back to Star Wars, but one thing Star Wars has taught me was like, it was definitely one of those things where it was I learned that like just because something like you think something really really sucks doesn't mean that it really really sucks. If that makes sense. You know, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like,
It doesn't make sense.
Well, no, I mean it's just like so like for me, I mean like that movie is just garbage, right? I just think it's like it's just horrible. Like I'm just baffled by the decisions that they made when it came to that movie. But somebody else has like the exact opposite opinion of it.
Well,
and neither of us are like, but I mean, it's one of those things where like, oh, like subjective to me, like usually meant to me, like somebody saying, oh, I really like playing with blue pieces. Oh, it's subjective. I mean, like when I can like see something that's just objectively awful, and you don't see it as being objectively awful, or they see it as being objectively like amazing, and I don't see it as being objectively amazing, then yeah, you know, it's one of those things where yeah, there you go. I don't know.
Dude, do you guys see they're doing mixed doubles curling this year in Olympics, Winter Olympics?
Cool.
Do you guys are you into curling at all? You're Minnesotan, man. How can you got to be a curler, right?
I've gone curling. I have a friend who is a huge curler. Like he is in a curling league, and I've subbed for him a few times. It's fun, but I mean, it's just I'm no good at it. So.
Oh my god! It starts at 4 a.m. Getting up all night again. I guess if I want to watch it live.
Curling is, I mean,
USA goes up against Canada at like 6 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, if you played it, it's definitely it's fun.
I think I would like to play it.
Two things about the curling club in Fargo, North Dakota. One, they have a pop machine that has beer in it. So it's like they have an old school pop machine, and like you put 4 quarters in, you hit a button, and you get a can of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you know, and it's just like the Pabst Blue Ribbon, and like you know, it's just like, you know. Second, one of the funniest things that ever happened to me, like we went to this is when I was in my 20s, so we went to go to the curling club, and we were gonna go and just practice curling because we were there for a while. And my buddy Shad, I think I might have told this story. My buddy Shad drove us there, and my buddy Shad had this really shitty old Honda Escort, I think was what he had. This little fucking beatbox of a car, and we were there, and we got kind of tuned up, but we only lived like 5-6 blocks away, and we walk outside, and his freaking car was gone. And the thing is that, I mean, he always just left his keys in his car. He didn't care. You know, I mean, it was like I said, it was just this little tiny piece of crap car. And we were just like, what the hell? Like somebody stole your car. And I was like, because he would just take the keys out and he'd throw them on the dash or whatever. And he just, you know, he just didn't care. And we were like, I said, somebody stole your car. And he's like, well, this is dumb. You know, so we walked home. Like, cause he lived in an apartment building right next to mine, so we just walked the like, it was more like, you know, a mile, you know, or whatever, but it was relatively close. So we just walked home, and it was like a fall night, you know, so it wasn't like super cold or anything. Before cell phones, you couldn't call somebody up or couldn't get an Uber or anything like that. So we walked back, and the next day he calls me up. He's like, hey, I found my car. Can you drive me over to get it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so we drove to this auto body shop. And like somebody that had their car needed like their car needed work, like front end work or something like that, had like called and said, yeah, it's at the like he had called a tow truck service, and like he said, yeah, it's a Honda Escort, keys are in it, it's at the thing, and they grabbed his car without looking at the license plate or anything like that, and brought it to the auto body service. And then they got it to the auto body place, and they $1,100 worth of work on this like $300 car, and they wanted him to pay for it. And he was just, and they're like, well, yeah, well, we rewired all this stuff, and we fixed this, and we got your alignment fixed and everything like that. And he was actually like sitting there like considering. He's like, well, I don't really have that kind of money, and I was like, dude. I was like, no way, you stole his car. I was just like, I mean, and he's like, well, I feel really bad. I was like, don't feel bad. Just, it's just like, like I couldn't imagine what world you'd be in where like you go, so we did all this work on his car and he won't pay for it. Oh, did he ask you to do it? No.
Yeah, they would lose that case.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, they're just trying to see if they can get it. And then, so I thought that was like the craziest thing that had ever happened. And then like years later, I had to get my, like, I don't know what, I think I just needed like a transmission fluid change and an oil change on my car, and that was it. And I brought it I brought it to this place, and it was like, they weren't open up, and they didn't open till 8. And I was in college at the time. That's how long ago this was. And I had like a class at like 7:50 in the morning. And so I asked my stepfather just to meet me at this place, and then he was going to, and then just drive me back to my school, because I had an apartment, and drive me to my school, and then I was just going to like hitch a ride from somebody. So like I was living off campus, and so he just drove me to my school, and I went to my couple of my classes, and then I was done for the day, and so I left, and I got a ride from a buddy or whatever who, and I mean, it was one of those places where you pull in, you park it, and you drop your keys in the box, like the padlock box. So they open it up, and they have the keys to your car, and they can do your work. So I get there, and this guy's on the phone, and I was just like, and I was like, okay, I had my money to pay for the stuff. It was like, $70 or whatever for the whole thing that I wanted done. And this is back when I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I had, I was, working 3 jobs and going to school, and, spending my money as fast as I can make it on beer and whatever, and just, and the guy's like, and I see my slip, because I can see my keychain, and I was reaching over to grab it, and the guy takes it and pulls it away. The guy's on the phone, and he's like, hey, just hold on a second. And I was like, what's going on? And I figured this was going to be the song and dance of, well, we found we had these other problems. You need a new air filter, you need this, that, So like, and they try to gouge you for some more money. And I'm always like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, whenever that happens. So I get done, and the guy gets off the phone, and he's like, hey, Lance, let me talk to you for a second, like all super chummy with me. I was like, yeah? He's like, oh, so the craziest thing happened today. And I was like, okay. And he's like, so I had like, one of my mechanics was like an eager beaver this morning. And I was like, where's he going with this? And so some guy like showed up early, like, because he knew like there was like some big job they had to do or something like that, and basically did the same thing that happened to my buddy Shad. Like, saw my car parked there. Like, I think I had like an old Corsica, like a Chevy piece of shit Corsica back then. And he had grabbed the keys, brought it in, and like had done everything but the stuff that I wanted, like replaced the muffler and like did all these things, and he's like, so the weird thing is that we didn't even actually do that, so we haven't even done the oil change and the transmission fluid change yet. And I was just like, well, do them. Oh yeah, but we wanted to talk to you about that because we wanted to make sure that you were cool with us, because you really needed this work done, so we want to make sure you were cool with having paying for this work. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not paying for a penny of that. And then he was just like, well, I legally don't have to give you your car because you're refusing to pay. And I was like, call the cops. I was just like, bring him down here and let's have a conversation, because it's like I didn't ask for any of that. And it was just like, and then the guy wanted to got I'm gonna call him. I was like, Call him. Go ahead. Yeah, get on the phone. Call him. Let's have this conversation. And he's just like, and then the guy finally just, well, we're not going to change your oil, or I was like, that's fine. I'll go someplace else.
Yeah, like there's not a million other oil companies.
But I was like, that was like it's like, yeah, it sounds like you need to talk to your mechanic, not me. About why he what he was doing. But yeah, I was like, I never heard of that, and then it happened to me. So, but yeah, what do you do? I don't know. Cars, right? That's the other thing I hate about when you go and get your oil changed in any of those places. Like, there's the one oil change place that I like going to. Like, is that like it's a drive-in where you don't even have to get out of your car. You just you pull in,
yeah,
and then you just sit in your car. And I'm like usually reading a book. For whatever reason, my daughter loves going to that and doing that. She thinks that's just cool. Yeah, just you get to sit in the car and there's people underneath you.
Maintaining cars.
But
of cars, my battery just died again, so I don't have a car now. I don't think I'm ever going to buy another car.
Really?
Why?
I just don't use it.
Nah.
I don't use them.
Well, I suppose you work from the home.
I sold Lincoln my old car. It had 6,000 miles on
it.
Nice.
Like, it was brand new. I mean, it's probably the oldest. It's probably the best shaped car of its kind. It was 10 years old, 11 years old. 6,000 miles on it.
Well, my mother-in-law, she has like a 12-year-old car that has like 28,000 miles on it, because like her husband drives everywhere else, but like she worked as a nurse forever, and that was like the last car. She'd drive it to the hospital, and then she'd drive it back, and that's like the only places it would go. Just like, because it was a smaller little red, Toyota something, and she still has it, but now they're both retired, and they both it just sits in the garage. And she jokes that she's going to give it to Rylan, my daughter, when she gets to be, when she needs a car. And I was just like, yeah, it'll have 35,010 miles on it then, or something, but yeah, no, I mean, well,
I thought that would happen to my car. It didn't. Jen steals it all the time.
Oh,
I drove up the mountains and down to Texas and the shore every week.
Yeah.
But
hey guys, I have to get going.
Well, I was gonna say it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so we can wrap her up. This was a good conversation. This was good. Other than my son, yeah, projectile. Poor little dude. The thing I feel bad about that was like he said today when he got home from school, because his grandmother wanted to pick him up at school and fuss over him for a while. I was like, all right, it's like, you guys, let's there's all their shit was all over the living room. I was like, you need to pick up your stuff and put it away. And like he said, my stomach kind of hurts. And I was like, oh, he's scamming. He just wants to go sit in the toilet for a while. So he went and sat in the toilet for like half an hour. And I was like, dude, what's going on? And he's like, oh, my stomach hurts. And he hadn't really gone to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, whatever. But now I feel bad. He was telling the truth. And then he barely ate anything. He didn't. I was like, because he had like a little bit to eat at his grandma's, and then I was like, "Hey, you hungry?" He's like, "No." And I was like, he was just sitting there watching like a YouTube video in his room, and I was just like, "Are you hungry?" "No." And I was like, "Well, I don't want you coming and telling me that you're hungry at bedtime." He's like, "No, I won't." And I was just like, "All right, whatever, you little liar." And then all of a sudden, my wife's like, "Can you come up here and help clean up all this?" Because like she tends to it's bad enough to clean up after the kid, but the smell, everything, not to be disgusting, but if you can have one person cleaning it up and the other person changing the sheets and getting the laundry switched over and everything like that, it cleans up pretty quick. So I don't know, poor little dude. Dad didn't believe him. So he's a
Yeah,
jerk.
cool.
Some father you are.
Well, that was and he was and the thing is he went to bed on his own. He didn't even tell me he was sleeping. And I went in there.
That's really sick then.
Yeah, because I went and I checked him. I was, "Are you okay, buddy?" He's like, "Oh, I just, I mean, I don't know." And I was like, "All right." And I just kind of just hung out with him for a little bit in the room. And I was like, I said, "You're a good kid." And he's like, "You're a good dad." I was like, "Aw,
He
thanks,
lies
buddy."
well.
Yeah,
Cool.
maybe.
When he turns 13, you'll be stopping saying that.
Yeah, he might hate me eventually, but right now, he's like, so there is a guy that had a thread that said,
I gotta go.
Why? What do you got? Where do you got to go?
I have to do some work.
All
I
right.
have
Well,
to
no,
do
like
tasks.
he said, like there's a thread somebody started about saying I've got my collection down below 150 and how good it feels. I'm like, oh man, I want to do that.
I'm looking to get rid of about that many.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting rid of 1,000 just to stay afloat, so I can have room for the next 1,000.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a different world. I mean, I'm in the business, right? So
Yeah.
I have to deal with it.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Cool. Best. Hope your son feels better tomorrow.
Thanks, man.
Is he going to
Appreciate
take
it.
a day off of work or a day off of school?
He's not going to school tomorrow. I'll sit him on the couch and let him watch Voltron all day, and I'll just yeah, Voltron's good. If you that's the last thing I'll say. If you haven't watched the new Voltron cartoon on Netflix, it is well worth the watch. It is very good. I mean, as far as like you think, oh, like a giant robot made out of lions, you think like that'd be silly, but it is like really, really well done. As far as like it is like as good as like any anime that I've ever seen. As far as like bridging the gap between like humor and like serious drama and things like that, and like each one of the characters has a very, very distinct like purpose, and even though some of them seem to be like comedy relief, they have their moments of like seriousness and things like that as well, and they allow them to kind of like have a character arc, and they're doing a really, really good job with it. And the next season releases in March. There's 4 seasons, so well worth the watch. Strongly suggest.
Need more shows, but you never know. Might have to pick something. I'm still behind on all the.
Oh, I'm way behind. Like I haven't finished Punisher. I just no time. Done. All right. Good night, boys.
See you guys.